We are live on Greyhound Watchalong. Good evening, Peel.
Woohoo! Yeah, good. You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm a bit sweaty. Away for the weekend, as you can see, slight change of scenery. And we got stuck in traffic, got here 3 minutes ago. So
Oh, blimey.
it's been a quick turnaround. But
You did better
I
than I
made
did
it.
when I went away for the weekend.
Yeah, the internet's working at least. Yes. Right, only a couple of minutes to be off in the first race. Hello to there's a few viewers already. Great early pace as usual. We've got Tricky on with us a bit later. So,
Have you got any opinion here, Tom?
I'm against Chelm's Fred.
Yeah.
I quite fancy Enfield Trojan. What do you think?
I didn't really. I think Chelm's Fred's probably got a better braking ability than Infield Trojan, but they've got similar sort of early pace. But I think Chelm's Fred might be a bit more instant. I'm a big fan of Infield Trojan, as you know, but I wonder whether Lemon Toss. I would really love to bet Lemon Tossy in a top 3 market. I think.
Yeah, agreed. The top 2. Oh, we're back.
Was that you that broke or me?
I think it was me. Yeah, we're working things out.
Okay.
Do you have a bet here?
I'm not jumping up and down to have a bet. If it's up to you, mate, I'll leave it up to you.
No, I don't feel strong enough about anything.
Okay. They're all in. Derby Plate, first semi-final. Top 3 get a chance to run on Derby final night next week. And away on racing, an Infield Trojan has bombed out and clears Chelm's Fred into the turn and leads around about 2 or 3 lengths clear from the 4. Then comes 1, 6, 2 and 5. The order down the far side, and Infield Trojan has a 2.5 length lead from Chelm's Fred. Making ground now is Lemon Tossy, trying to get a little bit closer, just climbing all over the back of Chelm's Fred. Though as they turn for the judge now, 3. Infield Trojan kicking 2 lengths clear from Chelm's Fred. Lemon Tossy closing with every stride up towards the line. 3 beats 1 and 4. Infield Trojan for Tom Harbrun.
We called it. We didn't bet it.
Yeah.
We called the winner. We called the place. We bet neither.
You
know what, PL? This is the problem with this stage of the night. If we were a bit deeper in the night, a bit more involved, we'd have gone for that.
To be fair, I think that's about the best break I've seen Infield Trojan make in his last few runs, really.
Yeah.
And he has got nice early. I thought he had as much early as Chelm's Fred, just outstarted him.
Yeah.
And basically, Chelm's Fred is a front runner.
Yeah.
Actually, Lemon Tossy nearly made a mistake and probably wouldn't have got, or would have got a second easier, probably if not making the mistake at the third bend. But that's obviously always the problem with back runners, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he stays well, Lemon Tossy, to be fair.
Mm.
Yeah, he just kind of had to check his stride there at the third bend.
Dylan, he'd bet 1 and 6 out, 20 and 5s. Yeah. No cigar, but.
Yeah.
I must go and get a beverage. I'll be back in a second.
Okay, mate. Yeah, Dylan was kind of thinking the same as me, I guess. Yeah, you bet the 1 6. Yeah, Sporting Chili probably doesn't really want to be in trap 6, but he had a fair makeup, to be fair, with Master 10 moving across for him. But impressive Infield Trojan. I've actually backed Infield Trojan at 14's anti-post that play as well. I backed Belly, but obviously he went out.
Yeah, I do like Infield Trojan. Obviously, we had a good win in him last week, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a. Yeah, it amazes me how you can get 6 to 130 in the 2, literally 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then he goes off 6 to 4.
You can't. Yeah, you can't. It's not a real price, though, is it? It doesn't last very long, and if you're that shrewd with too many of them, you end up with you have an account closed, which is most of the fixed price bookmakers, the people who are anything above mug punter tend to have the majority of their accounts closed for anyone who's offering decent early prices.
Yeah.
Philip Murray, hello. His bets tonight: Shrewd Court, Belmore, Sully, Priceless Jet. Best of luck.
Yeah, on the outside there.
Yeah. Paul Wing, evening gents. Did anyone see the Muttley comment in the RP, and what did you make of it? I thought it was disrespectful, potentially damaging. I thought it was an utterly stupid thing to say, Paul.
I don't think it was the best thing. I think sometimes that's the kind of mischievousness of it, and it just causes controversy, I guess. But whether that's the reason for the column in the first place, it's always a bit antagonistic, I think. But yeah.
But I mean, of all the angles to take, a dog sitting in the kennels aren't typically air conditioned. Most of them are pretty well insulated. And sitting in a warm kennel compared to running around a track in 30 miles an hour in 33-degree heat, there's quite a big difference there.
And the thing is, Tom, it's only it might affect one dog, but one dog is too many, and that's the thing. I don't know whether it was a hot night, but I was when I first got into sort of Greyhound management, if you like. I was assistant race manager at Rye House, and normally I did the trials. I think it was on an evening. It was an evening trials, and it must have been. I think it was pretty hot. I seem to recall now, and I had to, but it was towards the end of the night, so it kind of actually cooled down a bit. But the point is, I suppose it was towards the end of the trial session. It was a sprint, and someone had to go, so I had to put the box on at the drop, at the knockoff, and one of Jenny March's, and he got to the drop, and he literally wobbled and just collapsed.
Yeah.
And actually, he sort of died in front of me, and it was a horrible thing to watch. And that, so that's the only real one time I've seen that sort of thing. I mean, they try to sort of do the massage on his heart and that, but he probably did have a heart attack, and that was it. But so that sort of thing, when you get those extreme, you can never predict what's going to happen, and you might have the meeting. You might have 10 meetings, you might have 100 meetings. It's that one. It's the one occurrence where why did we do that?
When we had D-Star Lord, he ran in a trial. He was coming back off an injury. He had a long laugh and then came back, and then we put him in a trial stake, and they put him in a really, really hot race. And he always ran his heart out. He's one of those dogs. And we backed him big for the Regency. I think he was like 66-1, and we were convinced he was like a 10-1 shot. He was such a good dog in Ireland and such a good staying dog, and he'd done one of the fastest 6 times around Hove that year. They put him in this really hot trial race on a boiling hot day, and he came off with acidosis.
Yeah.
At the end of it, never recovered from it.
Yeah.
I mean, the dog was fine. He was retired fine and happy and everything. But it was never the same dog around the track again.
Just messed his insides.
It's what's the point? What's the point in
I think that's the thing as well, is that one of the things that probably I learned along the way, and probably through Mark Keatley as well, and with Lorraine, to be fair, is to keep them hydrated all the time, to make sure that they've got water, and make sure that they recover properly. That's the thing, is that if you cut corners and you don't do things properly, then exactly what you just said, you don't know the ongoing effects that it has on the dog.
Yeah.
Through dehydration, basically.
Yeah. I mean, dogs have no way of cooling themselves down. They don't sweat. Well, they just perspiration comes off them. That's not how they cool down. They're not like people.
Yeah.
They stick their tongue out, and that's about the best way. So you can. Yeah. I just think it's stupid. Not for a game that should be all about welfare, and increasingly is, running dogs in hot weather is just mad, absolutely mad.
I've just seen Warren Bond there. Evening almost. Tom being relegated to the broom cupboard.
Warren. I'm on holiday. Would you believe it? I'm in Hebden Bridge.
Where is that?
It is sort of Halifax area.
All right.
North of Rochdale. Got a bit of work in Rochdale next week, so I'm not staying in Rochdale. So, yeah.
Right, I've got a message from Trickies, and it's a voice message. So.
Paul Wings in Lanzarote, very nice. Or I'm no on holidays in Halifax. Yeah. I've never been to Halifax before. I'm going to go probably tomorrow. And what's the big square called in Halifax? It's quite nice. Don't know about anything about the rest of it. Peace or something? Peace Square?
Got a message from Tricky. He's a non-runner tonight.
Mm.
He won't get back till 8 o'clock, he said.
Fair enough. Well, if anyone in the chat fancies joining us, more than welcome. Drop us a message on Twitter. We'll send you a code and get you on. You don't have to come on for the whole night, just come on for a chat. More Halifax abuse. I'm not in Halifax, I'm in Hebden Bridge.
And have you had any bets, any posts tonight, or early prices at all, Tom?
I haven't tonight. No, there's not a lot I fancy strongly tonight. I think it's quite difficult to have a strong opinion about anything around Toaster at the moment, particularly after last week. So no, I've got a few angles, but I'm going to see how the track runs tonight. What about you?
I've had a couple of little bets. I like this dog in the next. Amaze Me Seb. I think it might be sort of they might just cut each other's throats, and he might come storming through late.
You've had a little dabble already.
Yeah, I have. Sorry, I should have told you that. Yeah, I've done the right thing, haven't I? Because I took 5-1.
That's very good. Very good.
Was he 6.2 or so? 6.17, I think.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I just thought that Freedom Alibi's moving off a little bit, and he's not going around the bends brilliantly well. Hell of a kerfuffle, Goldie's Perryman, and Chum Switch all want to front run. Spinosaurus has got a nightmare draw, although I suppose if he did get a run, he'd be some kind of a danger, but I don't like him perched out in 4.
Yeah. And
I just think Amaze Me Seb will be last anyway. He'll drop himself out, and then if they all cuddle up front. And I think actually probably the best leader for us would be Chum Switch, because I don't think he really stays that well.
Yeah, agreed.
And he will go right across as well from 6. So I'm just hoping that he actually goes wallop and clears him into the turn. And listen, if one of the others tries to get busy with him, I mean, Goldie's Perryman, he's a bit of a enigma, really. He shows flashes of ability for our friends at Fergler O'Brien Racing.
Yeah.
Hell of a kerfuffle ran well last week. I thought, say Freedom Alibi. I thought he was sort of just jibbing a bit on the bends a little bit. Spinosaurus is probably a bit of a one pacer.
Yeah.
But got a bit of quality, but just an awful draw. So. So that's the way I read it, and I just thought of 5-1. I kind of made him around about 11-4 favourite. Amaze Me Seb, and he's sort of 130 now. So I think, I just thought he was a bit of value, Tom.
Yeah, no, I agree. Hello, Fake Kerfuffle. I can't work the dog out.
No, well,
I was
basically a front runner, I suppose. But
yeah, I thought he kind of found. Yeah, the maiden derby, he ran creditably to win it, and then the races after that hadn't shown that, and then he's popped out again last week. Don't know if he's just one of those dogs, or if it was being in better company in the derby and the like.
I kind of think it's sometimes it's bridging that. Someone was talking about actually even with in the Derby about like pups going
Mhm.
from sort of puppy status into all age status. I suppose it's the same when you go from maiden status, albeit a good maiden status. But even the likes of Dealey Frankie, in that you can win a Cat 1 puppy event in the Monmore Puppy Derby, but then you just kind of don't quite always do the same against
Yeah.
seasoned Group 1 dogs,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what I've been trying to do in the last couple of years is get away from just card reading, and it is you have to have that intimate knowledge of the sport to know what the dogs around a dog are. Because you might have the fastest sectional, might have the fastest time on the card, might be the right profile, might be the best draw. But if the dog's got other dogs around it that are much better or much more early pace than the dogs that's normally got around it, that's a huge hindrance for that dog's chances.
And sometimes you do get these one-trick ponies, don't you? If they don't lead, you don't get a run out of them.
You do.
Whereas I think probably now at Toaster, people are thinking you do need a dog that has got a fair deal of stamina. It seems to be a very brutal track to run.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a hard 500 compared to
whereas
Sheffield, isn't it?
you could go to somewhere like Monmore, show a bit of early on the quick track, and get away with being a 450-metre dog.
What do you put that down to? What makes one 500 metres harder than another 500 metres?
It's a bit like Hove, isn't it, really? Because, I mean, a lot of people say, there's no hiding place, where, when you go to the cocky tracks where they're turning quite a lot, whereas at Toaster, mind you, everyone says at Toaster that it's a bit like Sheffield, isn't it, where there's not masses of straights. It's a tough track to work out. It really is a tough track. It's a very unique track, obviously, because of the location. Maybe because the wide open expanse of it. I don't really know. Not sure. It's a track that I've always struggled to get to grips with. Although, funny enough, I had a lot of success when they were before it closed and reopened again with the 8-dog races on the Saturday morning, when they had the 8-dog races.
I find it hard enough to pick a winner on the 6 dogs.
Yeah, I did. Well, I just thought, I think the value, they're probably, that's when I had a couple of accounts and I could say advantage by them. But so it wasn't so bad, but he's drifted out now. So have I taken the right price?
Yeah.
Looks like it not.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tight, isn't it?
Yeah.
5.6, yeah. Keith Park, Freedom Alibi. Has to be a layer here. Ben's running as PR says is woeful.
Yeah. All loaded. Second semi. Wide open market, this one. Favourite just Freedom Alibi on the inside. Her approaches. Up go the lids and off from Ration, and Freedom Alibi does break nicely. Early pace up on the outside, though, from the Chelmsford dog, and we lost 5 there, got knocked over at the back of the pack, and down the far side, Goldie's Perryman has got to the front and kicked on. 3 lengths clear now from Chelmsford Switch. Then in behind these comes Hell of a Kerfuffle, and in behind this then comes Spinosaurus and Freedom Alibi. Swinging off the last turn now, and it is the 3 out in supreme isolation. Goldie's Perryman wins for the Fergal O'Brien Racing Syndicate and wins it readily in the end from 6 Chum Switch and 2 Hell of a Kerfuffle back in third. That didn't go to plan.
No.
The only thing I think the right thing we said was Freedom Alibi is fiddling the bends. He completely bottled it there as well. Completely bottled it. Yeah, haven't shown it the replay. Ah dear.
No.
I could rewind that, I suppose, couldn't I? Just want to see myself what happened to Amaze Me Seb.
Just going to get my notes. Times on pack them.
Actually, 4 broke last, but when one got jigged back and then 5 had nowhere to go and climbed all over the back of 1 because 1's moving off. I don't know why Freedom Alibi is really in the red hole, but Yeah, that was unfortunate because you obviously, but when you've got a back runner, you need the lucky run in early doors just to fiddle your way around the first 2 bends. He had no chance to fiddle his way because one was coming back in his face. So yeah, he seems okay enough. Went round to the drop okay, so hopefully he'll be all right.
Got all the essentials.
Yeah, Tom, I was just saying, I think what happened was because the early birds were just edging in and Freedom Alibi just basically he shit himself and then he moved off because he was jigging back and then 5 literally had nowhere to go and just climbed all over the back of him and got bowled over. Which is a bit of a blow for me because I backed him in a little bit of a line bet to be the first 3 as well. And obviously when you get knocked over, you got no chance. Yeah.
Last point you're thinking, just stop the hair. Stop the hair. Safety.
Yeah, no, you don't want to see that anyway. But it's annoying because, again, I suppose it's a frustration even for Tom Harbour because Freedom Alibi has obviously got pace, hasn't he? And when he was in trial situation, did the 29.40 odd, but he's just fiddling the bends. He's just not running the bends smoothly at all. And obviously he's got issues. But what do you do? It's a very, very difficult situation. Other than probably now he might need a break, but get him sorted.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got sprint semi-final coming up, haven't we? This race. Not a lot matched yet, but I'll pop it up. Tricky one, this.
Say again.
Tricky race, this one.
Yeah. Speaking of tricky, he said he got beaten the decider. He went to a pool competition today. It was supposed to be 2 hours earlier than it got rescheduled.
Okay.
So that's why he said he won't get back till. He was hoping to get back sort of 5:30ish, you know. And he got beat as well.
Well, the offer is there for the viewers. If anyone wants to join us, you're more than welcome. Just drop us a message or in the chat and we will get in touch. We've got some free bets to give away tonight as well.
Oh, yeah. So we have.
So, yeah.
And what did you think of the next sprint, Tom?
I thought it was a tricky race.
Yeah.
I did think it was a very tricky race. Havana class I never get right.
No, and you know, I went back. I went quite deep into this race actually, and because I said to you last week, I wanted to be against him. I was late on parade last week. I had loads of issues. Lorraine was having a gallivant at York, I think she was, and I was under pressure to get all the stuff equipment sorted out, and I missed the race. I think you laid him, didn't you? Only small, but and Ballymac Slap Up came from out of the clouds, but to go wallop. But Houston Main was a dog that I was quite impressed with actually. I thought he showed form that I didn't really know he had, if you get what I mean. And obviously he beat Shrewd Call. Now, Van Class has met Shrewd Call recently 3 times and beat him every time. So, you know, there's not masses between them, but Havana Class just seems to be a dog that at Central Park, Tom, he seems to roar. At Toaster, he doesn't seem to roar. If you get what I mean, doesn't seem the same sort of dog.
It's very track, isn't it?
Yeah, whether that's the fact that it's not such a long run to the bend. Because Central Park actually is quite a good sprint, isn't it? It's quite a good.
It is.
Good long run to the turn. If you can imagine, everyone says, you know, what an underused trip the 500 meter trip is with that long run from that end of the. It's similar, isn't it, for the sprint really? Yeah. So I always think that I always think that the sprint trip at Central Park is a good trip, and it maybe at Tosa. See, I always think it's a bit like Nottingham as well. The 305 at Nottingham, I think that's a blinding trip for a sprint. And if it was me, I'd have like a 290 trip at Tosa. Do you know what I mean? I would.
Yeah.
I'd put the traps back as far as I could. But again,
yeah. Let's have a free bet competition on this race. Let's have a forecast prediction in the chat. Stick your forecast predictions up. If someone else has the same one as you, then their one's null and void. First come, first served. What comes first? What comes second? If you get them in the winning order, you can have a £20 free bet with Matchbook.
Right.
I quite want to lay Havana Class. I thought I want to lay it about 1.9 if it comes to that, because I think Houston Main can beat it. I think Blast Off Mason can beat it. I think Shoe Call could beat it.
I actually think that Blast Off Mason's one of those dogs that he's such a much better dog out of three. Much better dog out of three. I mean, don't get me wrong, you don't want him out much further than that, you don't. And that's why he's a railer. But he just seems to, every single time out of red, he just seems to fluff his lines all the time. Whereas out of a middle box, he seems to trap so much better. And when he traps, he's got decent early pace.
Yep.
Few
have taken up the guess. So Paul Wing's gone 1 to beat 5. Philip Murray's gone 5 to beat 2. Dylan's gone 2 to beat 5. Ben's gone 2 to beat 1. Dave Skinner's gone 2 to beat 1, but Ben's already got it. So you'll have to guess again if you're guessing David. And Paddy McGee 3 to beat 2.
Right. I can't see Lorraine Sam's up there. She should be in there trying to get a £20 free bet.
I might have a go.
Yeah. Well, why not? Why not? David Skinner switched it around 1 to beat 2. Why not? That's a good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think. I suppose no one else has picked that. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Let's have a quick look at the place market. Found a class very short. That's a bit tempting.
True call.
From
a good draw. He's got a good draw, really. The thing is, there is a scenario where 1 and 2 could cuddle a bit on the inside.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Should, yeah. Should clear Skylar O'Meara.
Yeah, Skylar O'Meara generally is a moderate breaker, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a
good pace, very good at it.
As a dog, I really, really like. I just think he's a dog in between. He actually would be an ideal dog, Tom, a 305 Nottingham dog. Because he can break moderately and then show that early dash. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't think the Toasted trip is really his trip in that respect. I understand why you go there. You got to go there because you can get to be in the Derby final. If you go to Wallop in the final, then fair enough. I mean that. He's a dog I really like. I've always and he's a dog that, again, they quite rightly seed in middle, hoping they're going to get 3 or 4, and he always seems to get 5. And when I see him at Romford, so they play the game, but end up with poor draws.
LFC Monkey Man's beaten 6 to beat 1, which would have been the value, but 6 is a non-runner, unfortunately.
So he might mean 5 to beat 1.
Yeah. We'll take yours as 5 to beat 1.
Yeah. PM said Trap 4 is one of those dogs that you really don't want to see. Yeah. Be against in a sprint and can definitely do it over that trip. Yeah. No, he's
smash out that one, can't they?
I mean, these are probably this is a decent field, really. Obviously, True Court and Havana Class are probably
two of the best sprinters.
Two of the best top 6 sprinters you'd say we've got. So,
I mean, Havana Class, if you want to back it, that's a very backable price now. It's not the...
Yeah.
I'm happy to just watch this race. What about you, PL?
Yeah, I've got no strong opinion. I don't... It's obviously a lot of it's on lid rise, but I think, the prices are pretty... Maybe Blast Off Mason might be a bit bigger than I made him, but...
Yeah, he's getting big now.
Yeah. Only to go wallop, but...
He's always there or thereabouts. Maybe in the place market. Yeah, that's not a bad bet. Should I have a corner on that? Yeah. I think there's worse bets to have than that.
No, I'd be happy with that. David's parade in True Court tonight as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, Tom. I really do like sprinters. I've always liked a sprinter. We had a couple of decent sprinters when Lorraine was training. We had a dog called Perry's Tango, and he was another one. He was an awful breaker, but once his feet touched the ground, he just roared. He just had that brute early speed. I remember I took him to Monmore once for a final. I went on there on my own. It's like, I hadn't been, so I had a kennel-house license with Lorraine that long actually, and took him on my own. It was quite a thrill, really. Put him in the boxes.
Yeah.
He went and won for me. It was good. Lorraine's had a couple of decent sprinters. We used to go Coventry quite a lot for the sprint there because that's a really good sprint.
Love
really good sprint. Yeah.
What a crying shame that was. What happened there?
Yeah, it was, mate. Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Have you read Harry's book?
Yeah. I have. Of course, yeah.
I mean, it's pretty hairy. A couple of points. His basically business model for the survival of it was winning the Scoop 6, which he managed to do. But I think if I went to my bank manager with that in my business plan, he wouldn't be too happy.
Actually, funny enough, I had Harry's number through. We did a dog race up the straight at Market Race. We did it at Cheltenham. We did Market Race, and Harry put a dog in it. And I'll tell you the story in a minute about Harry. But what you just said there was quite pertinent because I read his book and I rung him just to say how much I enjoyed it when I was on holiday, and then we've become kind of quite good pals since. So. And the Lifford stuff, obviously. Right, here we go then. Just 5 dogs around the post here through the withdrawal of Flashing Willow. Hare approaches and off from racing, and 2 flashes out. Havana Class roars into the first turn in front of Blast Off Mason, who goes with him round the second bend now. And the fawn dog, Havana Class, kicks on from Blast Off Mason, who will get second. And Scarlet O'Meara qualifies back in third.
Oi for the play.
Never got into it. I wonder whether anyone got that 2 and 3. Oh yeah, Ben Green did.
Ben Green, what a man!
Very good.
No one got it before him. 3. Yeah, Ben Green is the winner. Well done, Ben.
2, 3, 4.
Drop us a message on Twitter, and we'll sort out a free £20 matchbook bet. In your account, just send us DM us your matchbook username. Well done.
I like that competition, by the way, Tom. That's a good competition.
Thank you. Very gracious, Philip. And that's not what we want to see. We want abuse. We want threats. We want abuse.
He's actually shown his form there. I suppose that it helped that he tracked, but Blast Off Mason hasn't really. He's not disgraced himself there at all.
No.
Damien Teeban and Seamus. They tell me the Havana Class, the KSS syndicate owners have bought from Post to Pillar. the dog that did the 29-28 at Tralee.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I heard that.
45 Jimmies, by the way.
Yep.
45.
Yep. Fair play to him.
Yeah.
Fair play to him.
Yeah.
15:59. Jeez, that's quick.
Yeah. Length and a half off the clock.
Yeah. Wonder what Flash and Willow would have done.
Yeah.
You know what? Any chance we could get Pat on tonight?
Oh, I doubt it.
Maybe next week once he's
Do you
cooled
reckon?
off a bit.
I actually did. Oh, we were talking about Harry, weren't we? So I rung. I was actually. We came back from holiday. I'd read the book on holiday. We were going to John Mullins's to see the pups, and I thought I will ring Harry just to see how the land lies and say it was a really good read. And we got chatting about stuff about Hunter Chase stuff and things like that, and then just started texting and went from there. And that's when he said he wanted me to do the odds compiling for when Lifford opens, and started and helping that. And then they all got drawn into doing business plans, and Lorraine said, "Oh, we go over there and launch it," and it's just got drawn out really at the moment. We're still waiting. Actually, there's a GRI meeting on the 23rd, which we're hoping that there's a hosting issue at the moment, which is through a government minister really that's just trying to make sure that there's no there's a guarantee from the Tote UK that there's no cost that is down to really the government, the Irish government, or the GRI. So it's all sort of a legal thing all the time. So.
It's going on a bit, isn't it?
Oh, really frustrating. So it has gone on a long time, mate. Yeah, long time.
It's just sitting there. The track looked immaculate months ago.
Yeah.
Keeping that going is some work.
Yeah, I think the last time me and Lorraine went was October, wasn't it, Lorraine? So we kind of it's just a fantastic play. And that was another thing, and Harry says this quite a lot, Tom, where sort of stars align, when things kind of happen for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
We went there actually in 2007, which was the Spoon Louis days for Lorraine. That was his year. And Kim Zanzoni invited us to go over there for Lorraine to do what they called the SkillNet seminar. Mm-hmm. So it was all about greyhound husbandry and how you train dogs and this and that and the other. And there was quite a crowd there, to be fair. And we say that I walked on the track and saw Candice Cross, and there was the track maintenance manager who's come back to help us now. And it was just like a baby's bum. The track was just smooth as anything. It's just an awesome track. I mean, the configuration of the track is just brilliant. It's just the stand is awesome. And we went back actually. We stayed there, and there was a meeting of the night time. And Carl Hewitt, who had Chart King, he'd won the Derby. I think probably it can't have been that long prior. He was there. So we were chatting to him at the bar. It was just such a really, really good experience. It kind of lasted a bit of it gave a lasting impression, maybe. And when it all came up and Harry said about Lifford, I just thought, oh, man, what a track. So, yeah. So it's weird how it's come through. And that, say, we kind of speak most days, really, if we don't speak with tech. So.
Yeah. Has Lifford got much of a catchment for locals to come and visit?
Yeah, and he literally this week sent a link where there is some development going around literally adjacent to the track.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good it's an even better catchment area now when these new houses come up. So yeah, so it's just as you say, it's been frustrating. We're just waiting for the green light, hopefully on the 23rd. So
yeah. Hopefully won't take too long. What we got next? Got the 650. We'll do one more free bet with the people just in the chat, and then I'll tell people on Twitter we're doing it because I'm loyal to you guys.
Very good.
Well, yeah, we'll do the same again for this race. We'll do the forecast. First one to pick the winning forecast. Another £20 free bet with Matchbook. Go crazy.
Cool, you picked them, didn't you?
There's your honours. Yeah, yeah.
I must have been.
Slap Up's a big person, I thought.
You fancy who?
Slap Up.
Yeah, I fancy Slapper.
I think that's
I really like him as a dog. I think he's a really obviously we
what
know
on
him
the
from Rocky,
earlies?
don't we?
What price has he been on the earlies?
I think he was about 6-4.
Yeah, 6,474.
Actually, that's what I made him. I made him 6-4.
Yeah.
I thought obviously not going to see Jem could be
Yeah.
a bit of a thorn in the side with a wallop. Early night, he showed a bit of pace, but he's awfully wide. Didn't really think Monty Mikey was necessarily a sprinter. Loghill Flash just relies on a smash, really. And Freedom Whiskey looked like he was having a bit of a think about it going past Loghill Flash the other day. So,
having sat through this derby, what we talked a lot at the start in the first round about whether 3 is the ping box. Obviously, it's different here being the sprint traps, but do we think the 3 being the ping box theory is dead now?
no, I don't think that. No, what the other thing is you're kind of reliant on how the air's driven as well. I think sometimes that's a bit of an inconsistency there. So
yeah,
doesn't help.
A lot of viewers this evening. They must have a sniff of these free bets. They must have posted it up on those websites. Let's have a look. Make sure there's no duplicates. 2 to beat 4, 2 to beat 5, 2 to beat 3, 4 to beat 2, 4 to beat 2. Brian Huff, you're too slow. You'll have to repick. David Skinner, 4 to beat 3. Don't think that's a duplicate. 2 to beat 6. Marcus Bonner. Simon's also gone 2 to beat 6. You have to guess again because Marcus has got in there quicker. You have 2 to beat 1. Well done. There you go. They're smart, our viewers. Don't need to tell them. Sort it out themselves. Yeah, I like this slap up dog in 2. I think this will be a decent competition dog for them to go to war with over the next year or so. £24.21 Rumford off a 376 as well is decent. Well, and that would win most Friday nights, bar the odd Antigua Sox race.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Freedom of a decent sort. Dylan's gone 1 to beat 2. Decent choice that. So Patrick was saying in the week about the traps at Toaster and that he hates them. Whereas the curved traps, why do we not use curved traps anymore? Because they are the most natural. The thing with the curved traps is, for those that don't know, they force the dog into a downward position, so it comes up with the traps, and it basically discourages the dogs on the flat traps from playing the piano on the front of it, trying to get out of the boxes, because the curve of it just pushes the dog's head down, looks at the hair, gone. Maybe it's the consistency that generates isn't too useful for the bookmaker machine that sports become.
Yeah, it's a funny one, that, because I think actually when we did the race at Cheltenham, we had the old Swindon traps, and they were the curly fronted ones. And everyone, no one really ever complained about those. And actually, obviously, we foot started. Well, Lorraine foot started them, but yeah. So it's funny that Patrick says that he feels that they're better than the one. Well, they just look. Are they the ones from Peterborough? Are they the traps that they've got there now?
No.
I remember they bought some traps from Peterborough.
Were they from Peterborough? I thought they were from somewhere else.
Originally, they had the 8 dog boxes, and
Yeah,
they cut them down to 6, which everyone hated.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure, I mean, I could be wrong, I'm sure they used the ones that they acquired from Peterborough when that.
No, you might be right.
I think I said to Henlo as well. Lorraine said, "Actually, you should come on here, Lorraine. I send you a link and you can come on."
I was dreaming about buying Peterborough. It's only about 25 minutes from where.
Yeah.
And I've had some good nights out there.
No, I used to like Peterborough. It's a really good, friendly track.
It is one of the best viewing tracks in the country as well. The view from the restaurant is brilliant all the way across. It was packed there every Friday, Saturday night. It's absolutely packed. Before I was properly in sport, I'd go there with my football team on nights out, and everyone loved it. They did have to stop me and my mate getting onto the track to have a race after racing one night after a few beers. Obviously, I know better now. I'm an older, more mature man than I was back then. But they were not happy. Not happy at all. Not happy at all. I would have won though, for the record. Couple of minutes to the off. Slap ups prices hardening. Just keep having more on.
Well, he is a bet at that price, Tom. So if you want
to, another score on.
If you want, mate. Yeah, the night is young.
The night is young. Back we go. There we go. Fair bit of money getting matched. What we like to see.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, you kind of expect fairly strong markets because of the quality of the racing. But
yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But Saturday nights are funny. There's our viewer numbers tonight are abnormally high for a Saturday. People have a lot of distractions on a Saturday.
Yeah. It's weird weather as well. It was red hot yesterday. We went to Hinckley yesterday to meet some friends. They come up from Arundel and we haven't seen them for ages. And then you look out and it's chucking it down the rain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although it did forecast it. But
I bought a portable air conditioning unit about 6 weeks ago, shrewdly before the summer kicked in. Money well spent, but I won't have a look at the smart meter. Terrifying.
Here we go. Wave the flag. Second semi-final of the Watling Street Sprint. Traps open and away and racing, and Log Hill Flash breaks smartly with Early Night up on the outside. Looking for room in behind these is the red Knock-to-See Gem, and the favourite is last. Turning off the last bend now is Log Hill Flash. Is 2 lengths clear from Knock-to-See Gem up towards the line. Ooh, tight for third in the end between Bunnymac Slap Up and Freedom Whiskey. But Log Hill Flash surprises there. Smash!
Not weighed in.
You might not be giving away 20 quid there, Tom.
Let's have a look.
Yeah. Oh. Ben Green said 3 interesting here. If it had turned left last week, it would have won. We should get Ben on. Ben should come on. Why don't you come on, Ben?
Yeah, come on, Ben. He said he was only wearing a dressing gown earlier, but as long as no genitalia is exposed, I think we're golden.
I've seen the pictures Ben's been putting up of the. Has he got? I think they've got 7 retires, haven't they?
Yeah.
7 retired dogs.
Yep, no winners there of the free bet, but we go again.
Cool. It's close for the third. I think maybe just Slap Up. Maybe. maybe just slap her. Clark is pulled.
Look. I've got a very tight setup here. I'll show you. So this is the second bedroom. I've got the buttons.
Yeah.
Here we're out, but I've set up a little folding table. So
Yeah.
it's very tight in here. Getting quite hot. I'm gonna go and open a window. Have a little clamber.
So. It's a bit noisy, isn't he? It's a bit noisy.
It's quite high up, so put a window restrictor on it, and we're open about 1 centimetre. Are people already guessing for the next race? Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa!
Calm it.
I've not opened it yet. No, this is not a betting race. Come on.
Cool. They're all getting early.
Yeah.
Call me Steve, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's a dead heat for third. Oh my word! So that'd be a coin toss then.
Oh yeah, of course.
It'd have to be, wouldn't it?
I think, like, instead of doing that competition, they should do it on fastest time in the previous round.
I think the trainers should have a fight in the stands.
I was thinking only today, as I was watching people argue on Twitter, that the old days of people sorting things out with a fist fight in a pub car park really were better. You knew where you stood then.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing Lorraine's dad would have done in the old days in the East End. That's a proper East End tradition.
You'd call that a straightener, wouldn't you?
Yeah, straightener, that's it, yeah.
No one wants to offer up any straighteners in the chat, then.
Oh, dear. Yeah, Ben's come out another gem. Look, Log Hill Dog got close to its Dundalk run. It wasn't a cheap buy. Well, he certainly put them to the sword, didn't he? Went wallop and never looked like getting beat.
Yeah.
And it's again they are Tom. So Bannermac Slapper went wallop from 4 in his first round heat and out of 2, not quite as good.
Yeah.
Let's hope that John's got a double-sided heads coin.
Yeah. I enjoyed your preview of the Derby races, William Fortune. Good bit of detail in those.
Was it?
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah. 40 minutes talking about 2 races that's a good bit of analysis, that.
Yeah.
I don't think there's enough of that. Like, everything's so bite-sized and everything. I think taking the time to genuinely talk through each dog's chances, the draw, the positioning, the previous times, its running style, what the going was on certain days. There's a lot you've got to think about. It takes. I mean, how long does it take you to do a race, Pierre? Properly.
To do like a Derby night race.
Let's say. Yeah, let's say Call Me Steve's race tonight, if you're doing that properly. Not like Doncaster where you know all the dogs inside out, day in, day out.
Yeah, well, what I do is, because I told you I've got a video watching system where I click into a race, I click into a meeting, click into a race, and then the click into the dog and all his individual lines are formed. Because I can go back and watch 3 or 4 races. Something what I do as well is, because I think draws are so important, what I tend to do is I can also then click and say, Call Me Steve, when was the last time how many times did you run from track 1? So it will thin all his races out, and it will just highlight all of his races where he's run from track 1. So now I can watch him. I mean, it's probably a bad example because it's a 6 bend race and you can't see. But the advantage of seeing a 4 bend race is that you can kind of fairly well see where they're going from traps to into the first turn, and I tend to write against my the dogs as well, and you might be able to see. I'm doing a Jason here, and you can't see it. No, what I do is I write against the name of the dog. I write in brackets where I think that he wants to be. So the line he's going to take. Mm-hmm. So that kind of then when I then pick up this now. So I would have done work on this literally, the plate stuff and the Derby stuff. Those 4 races I did on Sunday/Monday because I knew I was doing the Derby lanes. So I kind of break the back of that. And then the rest of the card, the other 8 races, I do sort of nearer to the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so in answer to the question, probably it could be 15 minutes, 20 minutes on a race. It depends. Sometimes you look at a race, you go, yeah, I fancy him because I know in my mind that's going to happen. I'll just check this, I'll just check that, and it's pretty straightforward. But sometimes races are really difficult to work out. And me being me, really, really, and truthfully, Tom, I should go, it's too hard, line it. But I don't. I don't. I try and dissect it to see if I can find anything. And that actually, I do. Well, I think me as a person, I do think I waste a lot of time over analysing races. And sometimes I can even talk myself out of something that my first instinct tells me this, and then I'll talk myself out of it.
Yeah.
And again, then it's pricing up and seeing are my prices going to stand up against what the bookmakers are. And the beauty of, although they don't do it as quickly as they probably should do, but I do feel that with the Derby, you do get individuals' opinion. So Tricky will have an opinion for Betfred. Neil will have a
it's been quite refreshing.
James will have an opinion for
instead of everyone just following Bet365.
Yeah. So there will be opinions, and then again as a punter, you're matching what you perceive to be the prices against theirs.
Yeah.
And again, sometimes where you go, yeah, they got that right. I can't see any value. I don't really want to have a bet. And and again, and then the further out they go from whatever your price is, the more really you should be having on. So it's really that price versus expectation, and then trying to look in the jungle and say, is there any value out there to take advantage of?
Yeah.
And then if there is, how do we get on?
Yeah.
But I suppose a lot of it is, you come down to it now where the closer you get into the off time, the closer it probably is to being a correct market. But there'll still be mistakes, and it's, that's where the exchanges come in, because the exchanges tend to be better prices because they're betting to nearly 100% in front of an industry price, which is 122 or something like that.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, this is you look at everything. You look at the times they've done. Call Me Steve's done the best time. You look at the sectionals they've done. Call Me Steve's not done the best sectional, but he'll be up there with them. You look back through the previous races, and he's run against some very decent dogs over various distances, and has some decent 4-bend pace as well. And then you look at the price, and it's 1.52, and you think, how can we get him beaten?
Yeah, I mean, I struggled because I actually made him 4-9, and I know that I think the books were sort of 3 on. Yeah. So I never really thought you're ever going to get any. I mean, look, what is he, 8-15 now? So he's getting within the realms of it. If he starts going 4-6, if I make him 4-9, then he's getting close really to being a bet. Call Me Steve is a dog that as I explained to you earlier on, John Mullins is a a man that I know reasonably well, and he's reared a couple of litters for me, and I've had a conversation, or a couple of conversations with him about Call Me Steve, and he really said, one night, was it New Year's Day, Lorraine? I think we was in, sorry to do that, we was in Toaster, and we were at just having some food there, I think with Joe Keneally, and John came in, and I think he must have run that night, and he was getting really excited about the dog, and I've seen him, and he's one of those sort of slow away dogs that kind of got a bit of pace, and I saw him one Sunday Toaster meeting, Tom, and I actually rushed from here, from my office in here, and I went to the kitchen where Lorraine was doing the dinner, and I said, "You got to watch Call Me Steve." So we actually rewound it. I said, "This dog will win the Ledger. This dog is a Ledger dog. He's a 6-bend Ledger dog. He's quality 4 bends, but he's a 6-bend." When I saw that must have been at the back end of last year. When I saw John on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, whenever it was, he said he's a Derby dog. So, and I said, "What?" I said to Lorraine, "Who am I to question John Mullins? You know what I mean? I'm not going to question John Mullins." But the more I saw of him, the more I knew actually his future was going to be 6 bends, because he's just not quick enough to go with them, and then he's going to run up their backsides of dogs. And I think he's one of them dogs, Tom, that he will pass dogs, but he don't want to be passing 5 dogs. Do you know what I mean? Derby class dogs. Yeah. He wants to be turning third and then blowing them away in the middle of the part of the race. And I really like him as a dog. I really, really like him. Whether he's a track one specialist is another matter. I think maybe his kennel mate, Alana's pet, he'll go off, he might make the run in, but I think Call Me Steve will pick him up. I was a bit disappointed with Kishlaw and Shakira. I backed Kishlaw and Shakira last week, and I was a bit disappointed, especially after she led. I think Slapdash Tommy showed a bit of pace early doors, to be fair to him. And Slapdash Tommy and Kishlaw and Shakira, they met in Crayford in April. And there wasn't really too much to choose between, other than Slapdash Tommy led Shakira because he was drawn on the inside of her. So you kind of think, well, how's she going to reverse the form here? Hatha Daisy is a sort of a plodder, really, and probably Easy Diablo, again, another sort of, probably might get a bit further than this sort of trip eventually, but I think he's class. I think he's got good 4-bend quality. Yeah. I think he'll turn reasonably handy, and I think he'll win.
Yeah, and to be a top 6-bend dog, you need 4-bend pace. You need very, very good 4-bend pace.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Your Skirlo champs of this world, they're
you don't get too many of them. Yeah, exactly. You don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I mean, Call Me Steve is just the class act in the race, and talking about form reading, etc. It looks like there's not a lot between Call Me Steve and Alana Pet, but you go back through deeper into their form, and Call Me Steve has a pretty decent CV.
He just needs to get him to fiddle his way around the first 2 turns, Tom. That's all you need to do, really.
Yeah. But I mean, you'd expect him, Alana Pet, and Slapdash Tommy to arrive at the bend at a fairly similar time.
It could do, yeah. It's dangerous.
I'd always rather be in trap 1 round Toaster in that scenario.
Yeah.
Being in 2 and sandwiched, or 3 and bumped off into the 6 lane is quite common.
Yeah.
It would have been, if I'd had a bit more time, I would have done times to the bend on this, but I didn't have time. I'll do them for the finals.
Just reading a bit of the chat there, but Ben's come up with a couple of comments as well. He uses the Greyhounds Today app.
I've not seen that. I'm down with my apps normally. What's that?
I actually try. Well, I use it on my desktop, on my laptop, and I can't really find it hard to navigate. I think when you go in and then you can't scroll down and stuff like that. I don't know whether I'm doing something wrong, but I find it quite a difficult application to use actually, but
I just use Racing Post for my videos.
Ben does Swindon, doesn't he? That's his track.
Yeah.
So. There's John walking. Call me Steve.
So I'll quick look at the place market.
Maisie Bourne as well with Slapdash Tommy.
Philip Murray,
Nathan.
Yeah, Philip Murray put 5 in the place market. Good bet if it bangs out. Yeah, I agree. After Alana's pet, I think Have a Daisy's got a reasonable makeup of the dogs on the outside.
I mean, I've seen Have Daisy get up off the floor after getting done at Doncaster a couple of times, and she flies home over 6-8-1. But it's kind of whether she does it in this sort of quality against over 7-1-2, I don't know. But
no one is
always out a bit wide as well.
Yeah.
But again, it's all about getting a run early, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. Apart from Call Me Steve winning, I think it's difficult to have a strong opinion on this. Is he backable at the best part of 2-1 on, or is it more of a watching brief and enjoy?
As I said, if he went 1.6, 1.61, I think I actually would have a little bit on him, Tom.
I'll fish for some at 1.6.
That's it. Cast.
Yeah, cast.
We'll see if we get a bite.
Yeah. We're on the edge. It's a psychological barrier. But then, Bitcoin getting below 20,000 was a psychological barrier, and that's plummeted.
Yeah.
It's been a bad few days for invisible goth money. Dylan's laid it at 1.54. Interesting. I don't know if we're going to get matched here.
No, well, that's the thing is that's
we are. We're on the right side.
Dylan's obviously not going to match us.
Oh!
Yeah, we're in.
Oh, we're in. Yeah. We're in. Good things come to those who wait.
Yeah, and that again, that's kind of the beauty of exchanges. You haven't just got to take the price. You can request the price, and if someone wants to lay it, and like Dylan, Dylan wants to lay. He's laid obviously a short price anyway, so that's fair enough. But there are people out there that will make Call Me Steve maybe, I don't know, 4 or 6, and they'll lay the 4 or 7. So
I don't think you'll go poor laying dogs at this price consistently.
No, of course not. You only need one result every now and again, and you'll be all right. Yeah.
We had a rare lay last week. We should do more laying on here, PL.
Yeah, we should. Yeah.
This is the beauty of it.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, that's not. I should have toaster as well.
Yeah, quite.
Here we go. Short price favourite, then Call Me Steve. Anti-post favourite as well for the Gain Nutrition Feed Challenge Cup over 712 metres. First 3 qualify for next week's grand final. Air approaches. Up go the leads and off from Racing. And 3 flashes out. Slapdash Tommy looking to clear into the turn. Kishlawn Shakira, though, matches him. And the favourite now just tracks in behind him. Call Me Steve. Out of the second turn. And the white jacket of Slapdash Tommy goes on. But here comes Call Me Steve showing good middle gears. And now gets up on the inside. Pushes his way to the front. And kicks away now down the far side. Call Me Steve for John Mullins. With a length and a half lead from Slapdash Tommy. Then in behind these comes Kishlawn Shakira. Trying to stay on his Hatha Daisy. And Easy Diablo. Backmarker Alana Pet. Round the last 2 turns. And it's Call Me Steve. He's extended 3, 4 lengths clear. Pay. And one goes on to score readily from Kishlawn Shakira gets up for second, and Slapdash Tommy qualifies back in third. So Call Me Steve, very, very impressive. He showed middle pace after getting tapped for toe out the traps, but he's gone on to score quite readily in the end.
Very readily. You can put your money in the bank and earn 3-4%.
Yeah.
And you can back Call Me Steve at 1-2 and get 50% interest immediately.
You can do that because there are investors out there that quite like to do that, and actually Lorraine's one of those. I think if we kind of got a bit of a syndicate together, me and you, Tom, and we say, well, this is a bet at 1.6 but not at 1.5, Lorraine might just jump in with us, you know what I mean? And lump on. There again, she might not.
Yeah. Keen to get the Greyhound Watchalong syndicate going.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it, where I think these days, Tom, if I'm going to get a dog, I really want a dog that I know is going to be open class.
Yeah.
But
At
then you're dangerously lurking into the realms of paying good money for
a Greyhound.
that might not be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, still say that that leasing of Ballyball Red was a good deal. Good deal.
Yeah. It looked a good deal for them. Then it looked a very good deal for us, and that would have been a very good deal for them.
Yeah.
42.92. Just off the clock. And Freedom Whiskey won the coin toss.
He definitely is he's a ledger class dog. He's a nice dog. Him, out of range. Did someone say that earlier on? I think out of range. Yeah. PM. Yeah. 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 No, I did say to Lorraine, I said, like, this dog looks a ledger dog to me, and John was convinced he was a Derby dog, and he got all excited. And listen, I'm pleased for him because he keeps saying to me, I'm carrying on training just because I want to win the Derby, and he's trying so hard. And I would just love Sign It Goofy just to get to the final. I hope he wins for him tonight. I hope he qualifies for him tonight and gives him the thrill for the final. So.
Yeah. Well, I think Sign It Goofy is a good thing to get through.
Yeah, he just needs to do what he's been doing, Tom, doesn't he? He just needs to keep starting like he's started, and then he's going to put himself with an enormous chance.
Yeah. Did you see I put up the times to the first bend?
Yeah, I must admit, I kind of look at them and I think there's not a lot really to choose between. The lot of them, and yet I probably need to go back, look at your times, and then see what that means in real time.
2 100ths of a second is huge at that point, distance-wise.
And yet you wouldn't think it was, would you?
No, you wouldn't. The difference between the impact of that and the sectionals to literally 1 or 2 100ths of a second compared to 5 100ths of a second for a sectional is absolutely enormous.
And it's funny, I just looking at that last race there where Slapdash Tommy was in front, he just left that little bit of a gap for Call Me Steve, and he really forced his way through there. And it's a bit like that first bend that you do. When you get when you get to the turn and you're just that maybe a head in front, it turns out to be a length in front.
Yeah.
So you're right. So that the two spots, the head becomes a bigger margin in an instant.
Yeah, and then the fact they're immediately turning left at that point as well.
Yeah.
But the being on the inside is a huge advantage at that point.
No, I think you're right.
Huge advantage. The next stride as you go off that straight and round the bend is worth 2 lengths advantage to the dog on the inside. It's huge. So we've got 15 minutes next race. We were having a chat on WhatsApp in the week about which 6 dogs we think are going to make the final.
Yeah.
So mine were Savannah Bow, because I just think the nature of the dog and the will to win is probably enough to get it in the first 3 places. Romeo Majiko, I think it's a fast dog and pretty well drawn tonight next to Savannah Bow. Sign It Goofy just got tremendous early pace, almost guaranteed to lead to the bend. It's just how many dogs pick it up. I think you said in the chat it's a 29-20, 29-30 dog at best.
Yeah.
And I would agree with that. And it's at this point in the Derby, as dogs do tend to be getting quicker, it is what's quick enough to to catch it and go past it.
That's the thing. With Sign It Goofy, Tom, you did a 29.36, a 29.43, a 29.35, and a 29.31. You don't see sort of tremendous. You see a gradual progression, if you like, but you don't see a massive improvement.
Yeah.
But what you do see is consistency at lid rise.
Yeah.
And that early pace, which I don't think any dog left in the competition has got.
No, they haven't.
So that combination of him being on the front is a good combination.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing you'd say, well, can Romeo Majiko take one and get inside him at the second turn or even before the third? I don't know, because like literally his best sectional is a 4.13. Now, that is that's a length and a quarter. He's a length and a quarter behind him going over the winning line for the first time. I don't really see him making progress for Sign It Goofy going it from the winning line into the first turn necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what do your sectionals say, by the way? Have you got them down?
Yeah, so so Savannah Bow's sectionals have been, so the most recent one is first 6.19, 6.20, 6.19, 6.15, so pretty consistent around the sort of 6.20 mark.
Yeah.
Romeo Majiko 6.09, 6.15, 6.16, 6.13. So the 6.09 was a bit of a freak one last week, but capable of it.
Yeah.
English Frankie, very consistent, 6.15, 6.15, 6.16, 6.16, which is where I think Romeo Majiko's reasonably well placed there.
Yeah, definitely.
Mickey's Barrett, 6.12, 6.14, 6.15, 6.11. Sign It Goofy, so his run last week was the quickest one yet, 6.07, and before that 6.09, 6.09, 6.11. Fawn Rebel, 6.17, 6.19, 6.17, 6.17. So Sign It Goofy just has to do what he's done the last 4 weeks and will definitely lead the bend.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to be going quicker. I can't see Romeo Majiko going quicker than the 6.09 he did last week.
No.
Because that was a bit of a freak bang out.
And he's now switched from the 4 box to the 2 box, which lessen these chances of doing that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But it's a very messy race. It's a very if Sign It Goofy pings out, which he will, and leads, which again I think he will, what's going to pick him up and how they're going to pick him up? Is Savannah Bow going to pick him up? No, I don't think Savannah Bow.
You say no. It's what I think. The only scenario, Tom, is whether anything gets to Sign It Goofy to cause him a bit of argy-bargy, if you get what I mean. So it will there be a contest in the lead? Yeah. Because you're right. I mean, really, what is Savannah Bow, a 29, 30, 40 dog?
Yeah.
And got to do it the hard way.
Yeah. So,
if he's going to get him in that respect, he's going to get him on the line, isn't he? But
I can't see it happening. I mean, I was horribly wrong about Price's Jet last week, but I just can't. If Sign It Goofy gets out the way he's been getting out and runs just the same as he has been, I don't think Savannah Bow will pick him up. It's what's going to happen on the inside. Savannah Bow, in a way, has got a really nice draw because Romeo Majiko, Dealish Frankie, and Mickey's Barrett will all hit the bend at the same time. And from doing all these videos for First Bend, I've been watching a lot of First Bend action.
Yeah.
And every time when the dogs come together, it favours, well, not every time, probably 8 times out of 10, it favours the dog on the inside of the ones coming together to get round that bend. So that is Romeo Majiko. So Romeo Majiko either does another 6.09 smash break to the bend and leads up Dealish Frankie and Mickey's Barrett, or gets there the same time as Dealish Frankie and Mickey's Barrett, but Savannah Bow's behind him, so he's going to be sort of going out, they'll be coming in a bit, and he should ping round on the inside. So I can see Sign It Goofy turning handy with Majiko in behind him and probably back running him if that happens.
Right. there's one thing, and I think it could happen in the second semi as well. See Mickey's Barrett with that, and I know it's not silly because the switch from 5 to 4, for whatever reason, just seems to enable them to break better. Now, whether he broke from 4, he did a 4-2-4 and a 4-2-6 over the line when leading all the way once in a trial and once when he beat Romeo and Tilt in a trial stakes. And ever since then, he's had 5-5-5-6.
Yeah,
And he's just he's not even looked like starting.
Mm.
He's not even looked like starting, and yet he's got pace to burn. He's probably a little bit of a thing.
Well, yeah, he has. Yeah, you look at his sectionals, and they're not quick, are they?
No.
What
I'm saying is, Tom, can he get a freaky break from the switch to track 4?
That's a very interesting angle. Because his first run on the track he did a 6:11 first bend, and the last one he did a 6:12.
Yeah.
If he could take 5-6 spots off his 4:21 sectionals, which he looks a fast enough dog to be able to do, then I suppose you are right. He could threaten Sonic Goofy to the bend.
Yeah, whether he can threaten him to the bend, what I'm saying is, can he turn second dog? Because if he gets his head on Mickey's Barrett, he'll chase anything. I mean, when he got beat by when he beat Cape Cloud, he nodded him on the line on the 28th of May. That was the second or third round. Second round, yeah, second round. And then in the third round, I thought it was a good thing, and I backed him at a big, massive price, enormous price. And the traps opened, and Cape Cloud went wallop, and he walked out, and he didn't quite match the same sort of pace early, and he just ran on a little bit late, and he was a bit flat in my eyes. But literally, he's got beat 3 3/4. But he ran up the when Sing Along Sally came to challenge Sonic Goofy, he was in behind her, and it was a bit of a concertina. And it's funny because I don't know when you listen to what Ian Fortune said, Sonic Goofy ended up winning the 3 1/4, and yet he looked like he was going to get swallowed up coming up off the last bend. So Mickey's Barrett could with a better break be the challenger like Sing Along Sally was last week. Now, if he makes the right decision, goes round the outside of Sonic Goofy or whatever, or gets the challenge right, it's not impossible, but it's one of those things where I think it's guaranteed that Sonic Goofy, if he just carries on doing what he's doing, he'll lead. Just wanted to pick up again. I don't want to keep praising Ben Green, but he does come out with some pearlers. Greyhounds pivot when going around a bend. They also weigh more at the front. It's why dogs get a majority of their injuries on the front legs and back. So, just think that when you're talking about those fight, when I looked at it, I thought, what's Tom doing here? And I like sectionals and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, but you need to watch videos. But the more I just watched it, even with that last race, and I know it's a 7-1-2 race, I do think that marginal sectional and on the bend, Tom, because I always go, oh, please don't give me sectionals over the line, because that's not the true fact of what happens. Because from the winning line into the turn is where it really matters. Which I have big arguments actually with Jim Reynolds over this when I was race manager and he was attached. Because sectionals sometimes can mean nothing. If you go smash and you've got no speed, it doesn't matter anyway. But if you've got the early, and like Sonic Goofy, the fact that Sonic Goofy is that half a length or maybe 3 parts, it's a massive thing where he's chopping the nose off the end of a dog, because that is the advantage. That is a big advantage. So those sectionals mean a lot. Although they don't mean a lot where the margins aren't clear, I think actually where I'm looking for a dog to be a length clear, sometimes it doesn't actually matter, because if you've got a brave dog and he chops across the line of another dog, that half a length all of a sudden becomes a length and a quarter anyway.
The reason I picked the time to there is that's the last point before the dogs can
turn.
Well, that's the last point they can get round that bend without getting themselves in bother. There's a few that get bumped, and I've written bumped in the comments, but it's pretty rare. But I'm just amazed at how tight the dogs are at getting to that first bend, and I think that's why we see quite a bit of trouble there at this track in particular. I'm going to start doing it at a few other tracks we cover, just to see
Yeah,
if there's more of a difference between it.
that's a good idea. Tom, we'll go for a comfort break, all right?
Yeah, go for it. I've been told off for speaking too loud. I think I was too close and I've turned it down the system. So thank you for the heads up. Earpods aren't working, but that's all right. Welcome. Any thoughts from the chat on the next race? Blueberry Bullet's a slightly bigger price than I was expecting here. I think it's got a very decent chance of leading, and I thought ran pretty well last week. Obviously moved from the 4 box to the 3 box, but I don't think that's any big problem. Yeah, there's a few who are worried about Derby's Delight spoiling the race. Go wide. Doesn't think that'd be the case in a fast race. Philip Murray fancies a 6 here. Belmore Sally. 2 is a decent start. Yeah, Nighttime Danny. Obviously, we've seen that dog a fair bit. Decent type. Any other opinions from anyone? Could be. Yeah, you know what? I think we're going to make this a competition race. Not going to do the forecast. I'm going to do a guess the time. Closest time to the winning time wins. So, in the chat, what's the winning time of this race going to be? £20 free bet with Matchbook for whoever's closest to the winning time. Obviously, the time that's given on the clock before going announces. Philip Murray, great early pace, 43.15. I think it's going to dip into the 42s. I agree. Ben Green, 42.90. I'd have gone for something similar to that. 43. 43 dead from Simon. 43.22 from Paul Wing. Yeah, Belmore Sally. Yeah, I do see what you mean, Philip. Yeah, particularly after that run against Call Me Steve, showed a bit, but got lengths and lengths and lengths to find.
So, have you got any opinion on this race, by the way?
I think Blueberry Bullet's got enough to lead and hold on. Yeah, Belmore Sally's obviously a decent staying type, but there's so much to find on what I think Blueberry Bullet can potentially do here in terms of improvement.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm a big fan of Belmore Sally, and when I saw her in Yarmouth, she was showing all sorts of speed in the straight. She tends to wobble a bit on the bends. She just seems to find trouble spots, and that kind of costs her a few lengths. I think when she gets it right, she's a really, really quick bitch. Nighttime Danny could come on for the run. I'll be a little bit worried in case Nighttime Danny went well up here, and I end up saying, well, I'm not guaranteed that Blueberry Bullet can clear Nighttime Danny, so I thought it was a bit of a watching race for me. But.
Yeah.
Heat 2 of the Gain Nutrition Feed Challenge Cup. Good luck with your bets here. Race away to a fairly level line, apart from 2, Nighttime Danny, who completely missed the kick, and up on the inside, Bubbly Crystal will lead. From the outer, Belmore Sally is going to turn in a pitch just in front of Blueberry Bullet. Second bend then, and crossing the win line with a full circuit to race, and the red, Bubbly Crystal, now being pressured by Belmore Sally, who's looking to get past at the third bend and just noses ahead down, goes on out the fourth turn, a length clear from Bubbly Crystal, just forced to check her stride there. And behind these then comes Blueberry Bullet, looking to stay on along with Nighttime Danny round the 5th and 6th turns, and it's the stripes. Belmore Sally for Jimmy Fennett with a 3-length lead now from Bubbly Crystal, still in second. Running on is Blueberry Bullet along with Nighttime Danny up towards the line. 6 will take it and take it nicely from 1, 3 and 2 involved in a photo for minor medals. No doubt about the winner. Belmore Sally gets it right tonight and was impressive.
Run really well. Relentless galloping.
Yeah, she got a decent start and got herself in the race, didn't she? Telephonic interruptions on the old pitches.
I'm watching on my phone. It's not too bad, actually. The Racing Post app is pretty much in time with the TV. Unlike Stuff TV, which is about 30 seconds behind. Yeah, very good run, very strong.
It's belting it down the rain here again, isn't
Is it?
it? Yeah.
Blueberry Bullet, a little bit disappointing there.
Yeah, I kind of think sometimes that she might be one of those, a much better bitch when she fronts off.
Mm-hmm.
He run a bursted, did he? Nighttime Danny come up and strong coming home.
Yeah, he did. He's a decent dog, Nighttime Danny.
Oh, he's a good dog. Obviously, he's been off a while, and maybe that's why I thought he could have easily needed the run last time. But
yeah,
he ran that monster race, didn't he, in one of the 575 comps at Romford one night, Tom?
Yeah, he did. Do we have the winning time of that? Ben said 42.95. Was it 42.95? If it was, the winner would be. Let's have a look. There was one that was very close. I can see a 42.93. Go Wide said all about Trap 1 at Crayford. Let's have a quick look at that. We like an all aboard.
That's not the race.
Let's have a quick look at this race.
So what are we looking at here, Tom?
Go Wide has put up the one dog in this race.
Powder Python. Is it Crayford?
Yep, in an A9.
I might have seen this dog the other day.
369. Oh, yeah. It's going to lead. It's going to lead the inside. Yeah, that's very well drawn. Very well drawn. Is anything going to back run it? Probably not. Yeah. From a quick assessment, I agree with your thoughts on that. We'll have a score on to join in.
Aye.
Just get involved. It's all about getting involved.
I think so.
Ox 42.96 and the time was 42.95. Very well done, Ox 23. If you DM Greyhound Watchalong on Twitter, which is at GWatchalong, with your matchbook username, if you don't have an account to get one set up, then we'll send you your free £20 bet.
Three's led this A9.
Oh,
A length clear from 5. 3 lengths back to 1.
that wasn't meant to happen.
Round the last 2 turns. 3 pressed all the while by 5. Won a distant third with 2. 5 got on top close. 5 beat 3 and 2.
That's Crayford.
There you go.
There you go. Right, let's do the second Derby heat then, PL, for our
The second Derby heat.
qualify.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is where you was a little bit different.
Yeah, I was. So, yeah. So I was Hello Hammond, just because I've been impressed with the dog. I like its style of running. I think it's got a decent will to win. Always puts it in and is just one of those dogs that's he's fast enough, and yeah, capable of being there or thereabouts. Lataro was my second choice. Having Coppice Fox inside him would normally be a bit of a worry for me, but Coppice Fox seems to not be improving through the Derby so much. So I
Yeah,
think Latare draw.
I'd agree with that. I think Coppice Fox has been showing fair form to get him through the Derby by trapping, but basically he's a stayer that hasn't really got a lot of early speed. But he's got a fair level of quality. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, he wouldn't be this far. But you're right. I think you kind of feel that Lataro, if he starts well, he could clear Coppice Fox.
Yeah,
and that would be good enough. Yeah, to get in the race.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see what you thought of Make Noise, because I know Dave Clark's put him up as a bet. I think at 16s or something like that.
Yeah. Let's go back to my first bend times.
I actually don't think he's any kind of forlorn hope here. Only because I think possibly 3 is a good box for him, and it's one of those where Seamus is going to know that this is his big chance to get through to a Derby final by smashing the bars down. So this might be his sort of Hail Mary.
I think of Hello Hammond, Kildare, Make Noise, and Coppice Fox. In terms of their profile and the way they've been running, Make Noise has the best chance of leading them at the first bend.
So are you saying then that you think that Make Noise has got better early than Kildare, or will just outstart Kildare?
Make Noise should trap out ahead of Kildare. Yeah, the section will show that, don't they? Yeah, 417, 417, 425, 418, 424. So I think it will out-trap him. I think Kildare will be close at the bend, but I don't think it'll be close enough. My times to the first bend, Kildare's 6:13, 6:12, 6:13, 6:12. Make Noise is 6:11, 6:12, 6:14, 6:14. Make Noise is going quicker to the bend in each race.
Yeah. Okay. It's interesting. Yeah.
And when they're close like that, being in front and commanding that position, only takes a little jink to the left and you ruin Kildare's run up.
Yeah. I don't think we've seen the best of Kildare in this Derby yet. I really don't.
I agree with that.
Only because I just thought his Kirby form, but then his Limerick form isn't guaranteed to be the same at Toaster, so you can't say the A plus B equals C. It's just this kind of, I've got the feeling that somehow there is a better run to come from him. But and I don't think you say you don't think you don't like his makeup. I don't think it's a bad makeup, because I don't think, although Hello Hammer will probably edge off a little bit from Red. I think 2 could outstart Hello Hammond, but it's a tough one. I think I was talking to Ian. I said that really the most natural early pace dog in this field, in my opinion, is Kildare. And I know what you're saying. You don't probably because you're assessing his 4 lines of form from Toaster. You're saying, well, he ain't been that good. And you have to say, I agree with you. He hasn't been that good. Not on a consistent level, put it that way.
No. I know it's a very good dog, and he's carried my money in several of the races, and not managed to do it. And getting beat by Kilkenny Santee and picked up by Prices, picked up by Prices. I don't know. Coppice Fox is a weird dog. It's fast on its day, real good trapper, good early, but just doesn't seem to be progressing through the Derby. June 20, so just coming up for 2 years old, probably bit puppyish in experience. Next year, I think Coppice Fox coming back be a pretty decent Derby contender. Lataro, after that first track record run with the 407 sectional and 2884, just hasn't managed to do it again since that. And I don't really know what you put that down to. Why has Lataro not repeated that first run in the Derby?
I think because he's not started as well, Tom. I think he's not started as well. This was the thing that we kind of spoke about, didn't we, about Patrick seeding rails, and I think we all agreed that if he got track one, he'd probably get knocked out of the Derby, but through the fact that he blatantly doesn't want to be in track one.
Mm-hmm.
So,
so do you think
he's been seeded middle, and therefore he's been getting his 6, and he's not been starting because of that?
True, yeah. Yeah. And obviously Priceless Jet made a fool of us last week with that run.
Yeah, well, he didn't make a fool of Ian Fortune, did he? Jesus.
No, he didn't.
He napped him.
Yeah. It was a remarkable run. And after the 2 runs before, even more remarkable.
Yeah.
Probably the best makeup of any dog in the race. And it's kind of shades of Thorn Falcon being guaranteed to get his box, got a good pitch for it, and goes round. So a repeat of last week, and Priceless Jet wins by miles. No, nothing's going to come close to that.
Yeah, I'm having trouble getting Racing Post TV up in the PL household.
Mm-hmm. Pound in the meter.
Well, I can get BBC One, I can get Sky Sports as well, but I've got sporty stuff on now with Lorraine's phone, so
Good word,
let's hope that works.
And here are the prices. 4 minutes to the off. Let's have another competition for this one. We'll go the forecast again. Get them in the chat. Get your forecasts in. First unique one that wins a £20 matchbook free bet.
I hope you're keeping a note of these, Tom.
I am. Write them down.
Yeah, it must be. I mean, I don't. Well, you've been there actually, Tom. It must be exciting now when you think your dog can get through to the Derby final.
Horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous.
What is it? A terrible feeling?
Awful.
Yeah.
Whole race.
Yeah, I imagine it is. Yeah.
Whole race is horrible. Build up to it. So nervous. Just the feeling of elation once you get through is so good. But yeah, up until that point, the whole thing's horrendous. The whole race just so nervous. Lots of picks coming in. Casual Gent 3 to beat 2. Simon Sylvester 2 to beat 6. Paul Wing 5 to beat 6. Phil Murray 5 to beat 2. Dave Skinner 4 to beat 5.
Ian Fortune said that he was going to place late, sign a Goofy, but he thought he'd be 1.8, and that's on the premise that he was probably going to be 2-1 in the market, but he's literally 11-4.
Yeah.
Well, 5-2 is hardened back into now. And I must admit, originally, I think I saw 13-8 sign it Goofy and 7-4 Majiko, so that's why I sided with Majiko, because I didn't think there'd be much between them. I just went with a slightly bigger price. But as the market settled down, Majiko went sort of 5-4, 6-4, and sign it Goofy went 9-4.
Yeah.
And then when we did our podcast with Ian, I thought, well, I wasn't so sure whether I should be against sign it Goofy, because it's that he just looks like he's going to lead.
If Romeo Majiko gets a clear run off a trouble-free run around the first round, he picks up Silent Goofy for me. But that is a big if.
Yeah.
Delish Frankie and Mickey's Barrett will be hitting the bend at a very similar time to Romeo.
Yeah. It's an intriguing race, yeah.
Very intriguing.
Right, top coats are coming off. Actually, sporty stuff is a mile behind live picture. I've got my pictures back, Tom.
Well done.
Don't panic, Mr. Mandarin. We're going in. $7.48. So he is favourite, Romeo Majiko, so around about 2.7 on Matchbook, 3.55 Silent Goofy second best, and then it's 7.8 Delish Frankie. For Patrick Janssens, who won the Derby last year with Thorn Falcon. We're all loaded then for the Star Sports and TRC English Greyhound Derby first semi-final. Wave of the flag. And the hare runs. Good luck with your bets here. Lids rising away and racing, and it's for Mickey's Barrett that flies out the boxes and looking to lead into the turn. Romeo Majiko, though, is brave and pushes up on the inside and goes round in front. Romeo Majiko, 2 lengths clear from Mickey's Barrett, and then comes Silent Goofy, and behind these Savannah Bow, a big gap back to Delish Frankie and Fawn Rebel will struggle from there round the last 2 turns, and Romeo Majiko with a 4-length lead from the 4-dog Mickey's Barrett, who will qualify safely in seconds. A big gap back to the rest of them, and the third spot goes to Savannah Bow for Diane Henry and the track promoter, Kevin Boothby.
Wow. Silent Goofy just didn't do it from the boxes.
I've got to tell you that from Mickey's Barrett going wallop out the boxes, Majiko showed real tenacity there to get inside it. Real determination. I mean, he broke with the field, Romeo Majiko, with the field.
Yeah.
And see those those sectionals that they actually do mean quite a lot, Tom, because Silent Goofy didn't get his wallop break, and that was almost my worry. I didn't know whether Mickey's Barrett could do that and get inside Silent Goofy. Don't get me wrong, not with that ease. Put it that way.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, Silent Goofy was in a world of pain, wasn't he? World of pain.
He was. Yeah, that smash break from Mickey's Barrett. I mean, Silent Goofy's not had that at any point in the Derby. It must be a bit disconcerting for him to another dog going away from him like that. And he's round rather than having his normal pitch as well, and ended up running into the dog. Basically towed round by Mickey's Barrett and run into Mickey's Barrett as a result of that. And obviously, I said in my first bend sectionals, I thought Majiko, Delish Frankie, Mickey's Barrett would get to the bend at a similar time.
Yeah.
They did, and it does favour the inside when that happens. And again, it did that. Mickey's Barrett's made that dive for it, but Romeo Majiko's kind of already gone because Delish Frankie's dropping away at that point, and a dog as fast as Romeo Majiko at that point was never going to get beaten. Big run from Savannah Bow. I mean, Silent Goofy held off Savannah Bow quite impressively for quite a long time there.
It did. Yeah, what I was going to say to you, Tom, was at the third bend, Savannah Bow actually caught the back of Silent Goofy, and he actually lost a lot of momentum in doing so. And I thought, whoa, hang on, but then they went out of shot, and he must have picked up really well. But they were a furlong behind, by the way, Savannah Bow and Silent Goofy, a furlong behind. I was really impressed with Majiko. I know he's got a big engine, but he went into that first bend with eyes wide open, Tom. I think that has won him the race, really, because he was so brave at the first bend.
Very impressive. Ben Green's asked if the traps went early there.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think so.
Well, I wouldn't know, to be honest with you, but
Hi, Terry.
Just hit the replay. I don't think so.
yeah, I'm going to go and watch that now.
He's doing the watch-along.
Let's see if anyone.
Yeah,
You don't look at 2 and 1 in the competition.
The traps kind of wobbled a bit, Tom.
Yeah, but the hair was gone.
Some worse there.
It did look quick because the starter only just got behind the traps when they opened.
Yeah, you can't really see the hair. That's the thing.
You can't see it. No, you can't see it at all. Nobody got the forecast there.
No, which is understandable.
No.
If we had 1,000 viewers, it might have been a bit different, Tom.
Yeah, yes, maybe. All right, I'm gonna get refreshment.
Yeah, just had a phone call as well. Lorraine's just taken the call that one of my pals said he thought that the traps might have been a bit strange there. Can't see that. Just cannot at any stage see the hair. Whether that's the cameraman, whether that's the hair driving, don't know. But it's unfortunately a very, very inconsistent track, Toaster. As much as that's my opinion, I just don't see. I don't see any consistency there with hair driving, with track preparation, with anything really. I mean, it's a wonderful venue, but the dogs don't run at the venue. The owners and trainers do. The dogs run the track, and unfortunately, there's a lot of things that need to be better, in my opinion. And we always like to give our opinion here. Yeah, and Ben said that it could have been. I saw the anticipation of the boxes, and again, that's not a good look. So, is there something wrong with the traps in that respect? Are they not kept tight enough before the trip? I don't know. Keith Park. Floyd will be giving you pelters in the style for those opinions, Bill. Yeah, and he can do, because at the end of the day, this is what we do on Watchalong. We try to give our opinions. It's not. I'm not being nasty. I've got no agenda. I'm just talking out what I feel, and I think that's obviously a difference to us and maybe Racing Post TV in that there are bookmakers and channel sponsors. We've, all right, Matchbook supporters, but we don't try and blow smoke up Matchbook's arse or anything like that. We just try and do what we think is right, and I think that there's plenty wrong with Toaster, and I think that there's lots that you can't keep ignoring it, and a lot of people, if Floyd wants to keep saying all the negative of criticism of it shouldn't go on, well, I think everyone's entitled to their opinion, but. Someone come on there, casual gent, Mickey Barrett credit. They'll be ecstatic, and the fact that they bought this dog to kind of in memory of their good pal is brilliant, and they take it as a bit of fun. It's all done in with a goodwill gesture, and the fact they got that dog through to, I mean, fair play. I mean, obviously, I used to do Nottingham. I used to have my dogs at Nottingham, and Jason Gray was there. Fair play to you. Jason would be the first to admit he's the little man, and he's got his dog through to the Derby final, and then anything can happen. He ran a burster there. He did what he needed to do there. Mickey's Barrett come out the boxes and put himself in with a chance, and he's done just that.
Yeah.
I was just saying there, Tom.
What were you saying? I'm looking at some of the comments on the chat.
Yeah, only that someone just said to me about there was a phone call there. Lorraine took it, and one of the pals, and he said that he thought that the traps might have been opening a bit late or a bit funny. But like Ben's, to be fair, but obviously the more I read Ben's stuff, he's not a stupid man. the fact that they bounce like that, Tom, prior to opening, it doesn't give you a good vibe. So therefore, surely you should be doing something to make sure those traps are rock solid, and that doesn't happen. Because when it does, you leave yourself open to criticism. So get it right. If Patrick Janssens is telling you to change your traps, change your traps.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, me, you, our guests on here will speak the truth. We've got no agenda to have a go at people. We just want what's right for greyhound racing. That's all. So it's not. No, it's not. He said Floyd will be giving me pelters. Some people play a straight bat and they won't tell the truth. We just tell the truth. And Tom, we could be wrong, but we'll hold our hands up and say, yeah, I was wrong. That's all you've got to do. You just got to be honest. You've got to say what you see and be honest. And if we can do something that will help promote the sport, then all well and good.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think that's what people like about us, is that we'll tell the truth rather than flower it out to be something that it's not.
We've got no ulterior motive.
Exactly.
There's no reason for us to say something we don't think. And this is kind of the nice thing about doing stuff on the internet. We've got a sponsor here, but they don't tell us what to say at all, which is good. Yeah, it's the way it should be. And it's a sport that needs some open and frank discussion to really move it forward, which is what it needs.
I think even with we have a governing body, Tom, that they seem to want to duck on any controversial issue. They want to give you this is right for welfare and a 3-day clear rule and all that.
Yeah.
Which actually it's what I would call a knee-jerk reaction to what's happening at the moment.
Load of nonsense, yeah. And you can see why they brought it in, because there was uproar about a trainer who was running their dogs 11 times a month and stuff like that. And clearly that's wrong, but this 3-day rule is just absolute nonsense, and it's not the way to deal with that problem.
Yeah, because there's, and the thing is that there's not enough policing of it. So the GBGB are there to police the sport, but they haven't really got people in position that have got the wherewithal to understand and police the sport, because they won't question what a racing manager do. A racing manager is under orders from three different factions. One is his trainers and owners. 2 is that he's paymasters, and 3 is the media rights company.
Yeah.
And there's a big pressure. So all he's doing is, and what happens is that the greyhounds don't get treated as greyhounds; they get treated as numbers. And as soon as that happens, that is where you get your welfare issue. Yeah. That is the welfare issue. Is put races on at all costs. What they should be doing is saying there's not enough dogs. Let's reduce the number of races that we put out a week, and let's give the kennel strength a bit of a rest. Yeah. Let's alleviate that problem. What they don't do initially is promote the sport enough. They don't say, look, this is it might be literally what we've just seen at Crayford. This is I think this dog will win. There's no expert. They have commentators at Hills. They have commentators at Corals. They have commentators at Ladbrokes, at Betfred, at Paddy Power. They know nothing about greyhound racing. They know more about horse racing than greyhound racing, and they just treat it as a bingo numbers game. Get experts at a track, get them to set up a race correctly, get them to promote it correctly, and treat the races for what they are, an entity, like a football match, like we do. We're analysing, like you said, we're analysing the derby. That can be done by one man at Crayford, Harlow, Swindon, anywhere, but we don't. We use people that have got no knowledge of all those different tracks that they are there to commentate on. 1 beats 2, beats 3, beats 4, beats 5. They've got no idea at all. But we go down that, well, this is what we've always done, so we'll just carry on doing it. And that's what they do. The GBGB don't want to promote the sport. They don't want to promote. It's not our job. They said there's commercial. They've got a commercial director. They can do this. Even within the premise of the Donahue report. Yeah, don't cherry pick the improvements and the recommendations. They cherry picked. It's just it's a complete a joke. They just do not police the sport.
Yeah.
It's all knee-jerk stuff all the time, and you literally get nowhere. If you got John Mullins to be on that board, he'd kick a few arses. He'd tell them what was right and what was wrong, but they don't want to do that. They just want to feather their own nests. We've got this big war between SIS and ARC, and it just carry on and carry on and carry on. And everyone blows smoke up Kevin Booby's arse. And there's so many things that are wrong, and they just don't do anything about it. Yes, he's having a go, but he's not doing everything right. So he needs to get tugged, and someone say, do this, do that, and people will then accept it. Because
I've got a lot of respect for Kevin Boothby. He's had a proper go. He's brought back tracks that we never thought we'd see.
Correct.
But that doesn't mean you can't say anything bad about anything of any of his tracks. It doesn't work like that.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Everyone needs to have an ability to take 2 steps back and say, how can I make this better? How can I improve on this? Not just keep doing the same thing and everyone going, what the fuck are they doing that for? There's a lot of good people within this sport, and their opinions should be valued more than they are. Because let's get it right, a lot of punters are stroke owners, kennel-lands, but we don't seem as an industry to want to promote the fact that it's a betting industry for one. That's the only way that it will survive, through betting. So therefore, why isn't there a method in place which self-funds the sport? Because it's not. It's just, what can the bookmakers get out of the sport for as little as possible?
2 minutes off there, PL. We'll pick that up again after. The market is forming, and Kildare is very much the favourite.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
You're a fan of Kildare, aren't you?
Well, I do like him. Yeah, I do like him. I know he hasn't really produced it, but I do think that he's... again, in the last round, I bet him at 5-2. He went 11-4 after I bet him at 5-2. He went off at 15-8, and then I see him again at a 5-2 mark. I've not bet him, and now I've bet one each way, and I probably need to save on 2 now. But I'd be scared if Lataro got a wallop. Obviously, I'd be scared if Price's Check got a wallop, but I don't know whether he will do it again. But it's probably a scenario race for me, Tom, in that I think that the 4, 5, and 6 might actually struggle to clear 3 and 2, and therefore there might be a little seam in behind them where Hello Hammond will just fiddle his way round, and then he'll come late and fast and blow. That's what I think. You're not convincing.
I just think Kildare can find multiple ways of not getting around the first bend.
Yeah,
that's my worry with Kildare, and I think Lataro and Priceless Jet are quick enough on the outside that if Kildare doesn't get it 110% perfect, either of them can pick up.
Anyway, they're all in. Just got one middle seed through so far. Second semi-final of the Star Sports and TRC Greyhound Derby. And they're away and racing, and Hello Hammond has flown out the boxes, outpaced though readily by Kildare into the turn, and Kildare will go round comfortably in front of 3 and 6, who just rubbed shoulders. And Hello Hammond there, he ran off at the first turn, but he has straightened up and relegated Coppice Fox to be the back marker into the third turn, and 2 is well clear. Kildare ahead of the 6 Priceless Jet, who started to stay on along with Lataro and Hello Hammond, and up towards the line. 2 all out. The closing stages will get there though. It is Kildare from Priceless Jet and Hello Hammond back in third. Yeah, Lorraine said she was told. One of her ex-owners said that Kildare would win. She knew.
Not by much, but Kildare has won.
Yeah, he held on, didn't he? He held on. Yeah,
Yeah.
he held on. I thought he had best early, Tom, and he actually proved it. He actually edged off, didn't he? He moved off a true line, actually. He kind of moved 2.5, 2 3/4 into the turn, but he just carried his momentum. I suppose Hallow Hammond gave himself a chance. I did mention actually in that preview, he's wobbly on the bed. He was big wobbly at the first bed. He gave me a nightmare there because he had to work really hard to get past Lataro.
29:16 the time. Several of the dogs appear to have left to do another lap of the track, which is not great.
Oh God. Yeah, he just seems to run off on the bends. Hallow Hammond.
Yeah, he does. He's done a lot of running.
Oh, he's done enormous to get past Lataro. I mean, he does. Don't get me wrong. I know Hallow Hammond's going to roar home, and I thought he was a knocking bet in the 3. Actually, I did do a double in the 3. Hallow Hammond and Savannah Bow, which is cop. So they're good bets for Toaster as well. You know, the big gallops and the strong running dogs. But that's the only success of the night, really, mine. But I mean, and again, I've been sleeping with Kildare. Really, I know he's got nice pace, and I think that probably I know you disagree, Tom, but that I just in my mind, I just knew that he had enough early to get prominent in that race because it was really like Price's Jet is more of a staying type. Lataro's more of a sort of middle pace dog. Coppice Fox is a staying dog. Hallow Hammond's a staying dog. And he only really had to get rid of Make Noise, and he did it. So anyway, fair play to Paul Hennessy because he's got 2 through the final. So.
And three Irish in that race.
Yeah.
Not all 6 Irish, as some good judges thought they'd be at the start of the competition. But so who's your Derby favourite now, PL? I suppose it's draw dependent, but
it probably will be draw dependent. I was actually really impressed with Majiko. I mean, I backed Majiko only on the exchanges. I backed Hallow Hammond each way at 50s, and I did, but that was during the comp, and I backed Kildare at the start at 33. So I've got 3 through to the final. So I've got myself some kind of a squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't see Savannah Bow being favourite. I don't think Mickey's Barrett will be favourite.
Savannah Bow with a clear run could do a massive run.
Yeah, he could do. I think the danger is though, Tom. I think he'll be behind Hallow Hammond, and I don't think he'll back-run Hallow Hammond. But again, I would like to see Hallow Hammond draw a middle box.
Mm-hmm.
I really would. I really would. So we've got a wide. So Price's Jet will get 6, and Mickey's Barrett will get 5. And then we've got the rails, Hallow Hammond, Kildare, Savannah Bow, and Romeo Majiko. So the two early paces are Kildare and Majiko, I suppose, really, from what you've seen. So
if it's a slow track next week, let's say it's a 30 slow track, how does the race play out? Obviously, it benefits the stronger runners like Bow. Priceless Jet is staying on a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying about obviously yesterday we had a really hot day, so there's no excuse for the track. I suppose actually the natural rainfall today is going to help it be a. I mean, what is it? I think he did a quick time, didn't he? John Staying Dog. So it's going to be slightly fast tonight, but
that was 29:16 that race.
Yeah, so that is about what Kildare can do. So say that's a normal track. If it is 20 slow, then you looking at that, and I have to tell you, I always treated, although I haven't seen a lot of Kildare, and he hasn't had a lot of racing. I always treated Kildare basically as a front runner, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so not. I don't think he's as strong as he's strong enough to last a 500 like he did there. But I wouldn't say, he's not a strong dog. And you saw there, it was a bit scary close home, and obviously Price's Jet's quality. He's a track record holder as well. So that was another good run for him. He's backed his previous run up, in my opinion. There, it's just I think you'll see a different. If Hello Hammond draws 3 or 4 in the final, I don't think he'll lose the length that he lost there, because I think he'll be in a better position on the track.
Yeah.
In my heart of hearts, I was trying to kid myself. I said in the podcast with Matchbook, I said that he ran straight out of one in Shelburne. I knew he was going to wobble in the bend though, and he did just that. There, he wobbled. He just wobbled. He wobbled badly, but he's got so many gears. It's embarrassing. He's quick enough to win this English Derby. No danger, Hello Hammond. I think he's as fast as anything in the comp. So again, I don't need to back him now because I'm sitting pretty, but yeah, I backed him each way and I've done my money, but I actually copped out the each way in the 3-bet. So it's a bit of compensation really, because I've actually got him now in the final with 50-1 against his name. So yeah, it's got the draw will be all important money. It will be all important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like I keep saying, like everything within a dog race, the draw is important. The draw is important. So, I don't know. It's difficult because So I think to recap, then the early birds are Kildare and Romeo Majiko.
Yeah.
From what you see tonight. So Anabo's going to be his slow away, staying on late. Mickey's Barrett showed a bit more urgency from the boxes. So, but then he's going to get back into track 5 again, which you could conceive as a negative. Price's Jet's going to get his box.
Yep.
And then it's where Hello Hammond gets drawn.
Yeah.
With the greatest will in the world, I'd probably like to see Kildare and Romeo Majiko as close to the fence as they can, and I'd like to see Hello Hammond in 3 or 4 in that respect.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Only that's if you can call it selfish. It's just my vested interest in that. Hello Hammond actually gets me something out of the Derby after Christie got Bullhead got knocked out.
Yeah. I still can't quite get over that.
No, and neither has Pat.
No.
I literally spoke to him yesterday. And he said he was still depressed.
Is he going to be back next year?
No.
Really?
No, he won't be back. No chance.
No.
No chance. His opinion is too strong. Too strong. And you have to go with what you feel.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, don't blame him.
And the thing is that
a rough time of it, hasn't he? He's had a rough month there. Yeah,
and I've seen him in action, and that's in a way, it was from my point of view, I was 60 years of age, and to go and see that man in operation was actually a privilege. It was a privilege, and he does everything right. I was talking to friends last night actually, who was a kennel hand to Lorraine, and what Lorraine did was like she did everything to perfection. It's a bit, it's a joy to watch someone train dogs properly in a clean, sanitized environment and do the job properly. And I was lucky to be part of that, and then go and watch Pat and Emma and that do it as well. It is a joy when you're into dogs, and when you love dogs, and when you know what's right and what's wrong, to watch them operate and then get their head messed up by they know what's right and what's wrong Why would you carry on enduring the pain?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Some people just they accept mediocrity. Some people don't.
Yeah.
And I'm in a household where we don't. My missus don't accept mediocrity, and that's the way I am. That's the way I've sort of formed as a person. And I know that's the way that Pat Buckley is. And I would say, actually, I don't know Liam Downing that well, but I'd say Liam Downing, you could put him in the same category. So I don't think, I personally don't think the derby will be quite the same without Buckley and Dowling, and I don't think they'll come back. But you can put Michael O'Donovan into that equation as well. I don't think he'll be back either.
Really?
But whether, the likes of Paul Hennessy will probably carry on. He'll ride the wave, and he'll go with the flow. And to be fair, I knew Paul from when we did the Cheltenham race, and Paul was all for it. When he was there, Kevin, he was literally 12, 13, 14 years old. Can't remember now. And he came over with the dog. So Hennessy loves a crack. You see what he does with his horses. He just loves to crack. He'd have to crack. And I suppose, I guess now that Peter Crone's got through to the final, he'll be back as well. But I know he wasn't happy, and he was kind of voicing his opinion with Liam as well about the problems with the traps. He wasn't happy with the traps. But I don't think anyone, Tom, and this is something that John Mullins always said, I don't think they'll stand shoulder to shoulder and say, we're not carrying on until you get it changed. They should do that because, listen, a set of traps isn't it's not cheap to go and reinvest. Don't get me wrong, but it'd be the right thing to do. That's the difference.
Well, their owners, they have owners for their dogs, and if their owners want to race their dogs in the derby, then that's a difficult one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we stick together. It's funny enough, a pal of mine, and now he'd have limited knowledge. He's a lovely fellow. I've known him 30 years. He gets a few bets on for me in Ireland. Lovely, lovely, lovely man. And he watches Racing Post TV religiously. And he said about your man that was on there, the owner's rep. And he seems to be an intelligent man. And he seems to have his wits about him, and he obviously knows what he's doing. He's got naps and next best coming out his ears, left, right, and centre. But he also said, there's things in place, but I can't talk about them. And you just kind of think, well, the GB isn't really transparent. It's not transparent. It's just not. And it's like there seems always to be an agenda. And the fact that the managing director is part of it, and his missus is God, Greyhound's operation director of ARC, is wrong. It's just not. We will always underachieve because of that. There's no danger that we will always underachieve because there's too much of an agenda behind it. There's too much of a money-making exercise. People need to say, that's right and that's wrong, and we know it. Let's do something about it. But they won't. They'll just go like that. Keep pretending. Yeah. And that's why a lot of people do leave the sport, and that's why my missus has fallen out of love with greyhound racing. I couldn't praise her enough with looking after a dog. She would be one of the best, or a good example of how to train a greyhound to the best of your ability. And she's broken through this sport and she was part of she was a Type Henry steward, but she used to bang her head against a brick wall. She knew what was wrong. She reported, nothing to get done about it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't give you enthusiasm to say, yeah, we're on the right track, because we're not. We're not. But listen. The thing is that the likes of some of the lads that come on here, you know that they know what what is right and what's wrong within the sport, and they speak their mind on here. But it's just that their voices don't really get heard, and they don't really get acted upon, Tom.
They're good voices as well. Like
They're good, but that's what I'm saying. They're solid voices because, as I say, I've been really impressed. I mean, like Paul Wing. Paul Wing used to have a dog with Lorraine. He has dogs with Romford now, and he gets every now and again to see. Paul gets disillusioned with what goes on because he knows what's right and what's wrong because he's been there and seen it and done it. He's put his hand in his pocket. He buys his dogs and he pays his kennel bills. So he's entitled to get some kind of satisfaction back that he knows that instead of paying 40 quid for a round of golf, he's paying his £40 a week for his kennel fees less his prize money. But he's entitled to get a satisfaction out of it. At least if you go around and say, "Well, I shot a 74 a day," that was a good day. Not to keep going, "What the hell am I doing this for?"
Yeah.
But I don't think there's not enough within the governing body that can actually see that. They can't see. They don't seem to be able to see what's right and what's wrong, and they just seem to make too many mistakes from my eyes.
Mm.
They don't control the sport enough.
Yeah. Right, the Durando.
Sorry to have a rant, but yeah.
The original Foods Durando.
Yeah, we don't know them, do we?
Well, I googled original
in
the week because I have a curious mind.
I think Lorraine did as well, yeah.
The largest UK producer of pre-packaged burgers.
Wow, all right.
So there you go. Yeah, all of their beef is sourced from a BRC certified manufacturer. Now, for me, my beef must be sourced from a BRC certified manufacturer. I won't have it any other way. They don't just do that, though. They also do drinks. They import an exotic range of 7-Up drinks, including the 7-Up Mojito, described as refreshingly relaxing and tasty. There you go. Thank you for sponsoring Greyhound racing. We need the sponsors. Yeah, right. I've had a little tiny dabble on Castell Mill because I was quite impressed by its Irish runs.
Right.
The tougher distance. Savannah Volcano is a quality operator. The price is far too short now, but a decent type. What do you make of it, PL?
I think 6 cert. I actually, as much as I love Robert Shaw, I don't know how good Castell Mill is. Looked a bit of a one pacer at Swindon. Didn't really do a lot after the line at over 6.82. I actually thought probably the most likely runner-up could be Esky. That's what I thought. But I just think Savannah Volcano will win. I just think it'll win now.
You think it'll win?
Yeah.
I've not run the competition on this because Savannah Volcano is so short. So if you're putting in forecasts, they're just
too easy. Yeah.
Yeah. In the place market.
Yeah, I think I'd lay 5 in the place market. I wasn't too impressed with that. I thought it got totally outpaced in the middle part. Beyond, all right, be it by Space Jet, but got beat 17. It's not. Listen, it's not. The division is quite weak, isn't it? Really, and we can rave about Space Jet all we want, but at the moment she can only beat what's in front of her, and she is head and shoulders above anything else. And she looked that way, didn't she, in the back end of last year?
Yeah.
They're all in. It's just the Durando. I did actually own the bitch that won the Durando twice at Wimbledon. Pair approaches and away and racing, and 3 splashed out. Fabulous World leads into the turn. Now Esky now paces up and gets across and does lead. It's Esky then going on for Jason Foster around about 2 lengths clear from Burgess Hannah. A big gap developing back to Tommy's Dove. And then we've got the 6, which is Havana Volcano, the favourite, trying to get into the contest. They've left Castel Mill and also Fabulous World right at the back of the pack. At the 4th turn then, and Esky still with a 4-length lead from Burgess Hannah. Now the favourite starts to get busy. Full circuit to race, and 4, Esky, still with a 4-length lead over the 5 Burgess Hannah. Stripes now, Savannah Volcano starts to get into top gear in behind these Castel Mill. He's starting to stay on. They reach the penultimate turn. It's hard work now, and 4 is all come on top for the 4 doggers. 5 now, Burgess Hannah comes sweeping on by. Savannah Volcano in the wing mirrors, cuts up on the inside to challenge now, and Savannah Volcano goes on to score. It was hard work, but gets there. Burgess Hannah stayed on well for second, and Castel Mill got 3rd spot.
Good job we didn't place, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Volcano's gone well.
Yeah.
Castel Mill's done a lot of running.
Did do, Tom. Yeah, run well, to be fair.
Yeah, Savannah Volcano. Good sort. Good night for Diane Henry. Kevin Boothby. Don't know how many dogs Diane Henry has these days.
I'd say not too many.
No, she
She's
breeds,
probably
doesn't she?
just a handful of dogs, I would say, yeah.
I imagine breeding pugs during lockdown was a very lucrative endeavour.
Yeah. Yeah, they said that actually a lot of people got dogs, didn't they, during lockdown?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they're mega money. My mate got a dog and spent too much. Apparently the Colonel was calling Volcano in the 5 box till the second last bend.
Approaching!
That's a good impression. Question from Chris Pollard for UPL. Just wondered your thoughts on where Kildare and Majiko want to be drawn in the final. I think they're the two to
where
beat.
they want to be. I'd say actually Majiko probably in the context would want to be drawn off. I would say if he was in 4, it wouldn't really matter. I would say Graham would want Majiko drawn on the inside of Kildare. Kildare actually was a little. Everyone was disappointed with him when he got drawn. When he got drawn 4, we were happy because we thought he wanted to be drawn off because he would break better. And he got trapped on the outside of Kilkenny Santi, who trapped really well. And I think John's dog was on the inside, Swift Iconic, who we know is an early bird. So Kildare was never really allowed to dominate. And again, I think I'm right in saying that Kildare is essentially a front runner. I think that's what he is. So therefore, if you want Kildare, you'd probably want an ideal draw for Kildare would be to get him probably off the fence, maybe in 2 or 3. But he wouldn't really want Romeo and Majiko inside him. So Majiko and Kildare, they'll both want to be drawn inside each other. That's the crux of them, because they'll both want to be clear run to the bend, and they'll both fancy that they could lead that final. So Savannah Bow, they'll probably be happy to draw on red because they know they can't lead anyway. They were. I don't think Savannah Bow will be that. They won't really mind where they get drawn. And again, they'll probably think, well, we might trap a little bit out of the middle of the box. I think Paul Hennessy will be praying to get trap 3 with his dog. So, sorry, what was the question is where does Kildare and
Majiko want to be drawn?
Yeah. They want to be drawn. Well, what you saw tonight, Majiko was fine out of 2, and Kildare was fine out of 2. So they'll probably want that box. I would say that they'd be happy with Hammond inside them or with Bow inside them. But they don't want the other early bird dog inside them, if you get what I mean. So obviously one of them's got to be drawn on the outside of the other. So
There you go.
and that'll be the crux of their chances. I would say, from what I've seen of Majiko, he might have a chance of back running Kildare. whereas I don't think Kildare would back run Majiko.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I would agree with that.
So yeah, so Kildare's connections will definitely want to be drawn inside Majiko.
Yeah, I think whichever of the two is drawn inside the other one will be favourite.
Yeah, I think that's not a bad assessment, Tommy.
Harry, a challenge for you here. Pricey's up here. Bow in 1, Hammond in 2, Majiko in 3, Kildare in 4, Barrett in 5, Get in 6.
Price that one up. That's a good one. Oh dear. What percentage am I betting to?
120. It's the dark.
120. Yeah, right. Yeah, Jesus. Oh, that gives me a bit of work.
While PL's working that out, next race 8:45, Space Jet. How far? What comes second? Let's have your place predictions in the chat, please. Not a competition one. Just give us something to lump on. It's a weird selection.
Right. I think I've got it.
Okay.
I think I'd go. I might be a little bit too short in, but I'd go 16, 4, but that probably is too short. 7 to 4, 11 to 4, 6, 9 to 2, something like that.
I think.
I could be wrong.
I think the 7 to 4 and 11 to 4 are both too big. I think I'd be pumping up the Barrett price and taking a bit off both of those.
Yeah. I mean, you could be right. Yeah, maybe I should be bigger, Mickey's Barrett. Yeah, or maybe 5 prices, Jet. But
Yeah.
I never want to say.
Well, I've written them down. Let's see what they got up with in the week. We'll review it next week.
Yeah, but so they've not done the draw, have they?
Not yet.
No, that's what I'm saying. So we won't know. Anyway, so that will change, obviously, with the draw's going to
Very, very true. Yeah,
it'll change everything.
A few differences of opinion on what's going to place in the next. Philip Murray thinks 6 is a certainty for a place. Chris Pollard thinks 4 Romeo Riot will be second. Space Jet is fantastic to watch.
Yeah, she's great. She is great. And the owners are great as well. They're just so Gern Russian and his Mrs. Margaret. His missus used to be in the sort of owners and trainers bar in Walthamstow. Mm-hmm. She was as good as gold. Really, really nice lady she is. Really nice. And I get on well with TD and Matty.
Yeah. So, yeah, just reminding myself the last one they had. So, Romeo Riot led the race. Yep. Space Jet picked up off the 8th.
I mean, she was tailed at one stage, wasn't she?
Yeah, well, yeah, miles behind. Yeah, the sectionals were 29.90 for Romeo Riot and 30.56 for Space Jet. Yeah, 6 lengths at that point. Droopy's Jungle 30.38. For video, I'm just going to rewatch that race. Very good, the Racing Post app. Very good.
Yeah. Now, Paul Wing, I mentioned earlier on, he had a dog with Lorraine,
Mm-hmm.
and he said that he's become so disillusioned with the sport that the dogs he have now will be my last after over 40 years of ownership. And it's hard because it gets you like that, and then you kind of get. And I'm thinking the same as you. I think, I'd love to get a really good dog between the lot of us, and I've got a lot of respect. The people even that support us,
Yeah.
and the people that you meet on Twitter and that, and then you meet them, you might meet them at the track and that, and you got a lot of respect, like David Mitchell and Tricky and Borrowatty and all those people. You've got a real big Ryan Keneally. You've got a big respect for them, and sometimes you get that sort of camaraderie together, and you think, wouldn't it be nice to get a dog together?
Mm.
And then all of a sudden, like what Paul said, then you get lured back in again, didn't you? Do you know what I mean? So it's hard, and I think even with Lorraine, I was talking to Julie Collier actually the other day, a couple of days ago, and it all started where Lorraine was appearing on Racer Post TV. She said, "Oh, you come on with me one night," and I had my own self-inflicted sabbatical for my own reasons that I just didn't. I like to say what I want to say, and I don't want to say what people want me to hear. Mm-hmm. And then she asked us about, your dog's at Nottingham, and why don't we get Lynn Cook? And I said, well, by the way, I've come to the conclusion that why do I want to own 10 dogs? Yeah. Just didn't feel a bit like what Paul's saying there. I just didn't feel that I was valued as an owner. Mm-hmm. So why do I want to carry on just providing what they call a raw product for these media rights things? Yeah. I just didn't really fancy the coup. So, and then we got called negative for saying that, just really speaking the truth. Do you know what I mean? That's whereas if people within the powers that be looked at it and says, well, why are these people that have been in the sport so many years walking away from it? Mm. What can we do to make it better? But they don't. They just seem to carry on making the same mistakes, and that's the disappointment. And that's what probably Paul's saying. He's been in the game a long, long time, and puts his hand in his pocket, pays the dogs, and pays his kennel bills, and then feels like he's getting nothing back. So we need to someone or somewhere with it that matters needs to find out how we can change that. And I don't really know whether anyone's really that bothered. Although you have to say, we keep moaning about the camera angle at Romford, Tom, and it's changing.
It is.
Apparently.
You moan enough and good things happen.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that was even Tony Bullen was having a go. He got tagged in a post where they tagged all the Racing Post journalists today about that Motley column, and he said straight off that's not him who said that. The anonymity. I think I can probably guess who wrote it.
Yeah.
The tone of what was said.
Yeah.
I can see one of the presenters on RPG TV saying that out loud. So I think it's probably not difficult to guess who's written it. But
I think it's just that sort of. As I say, I think even Floyd is sometimes guilty of saying something fairly controversial just to gauge that reaction, just to create a bit of a news story. Which I'm all for debate as long as you've got a grounding that's pretty sound and your opinion has got some kind of reasoning. Then that's all. I don't like all the mudslinging and that. And sometimes I get as guilty as anybody else in getting angry about something and then having the pop. I do. I in the pop. I've recently.
I love the drama.
Yeah, more recently, I think as well, because we've actually had some really good. I don't know about you, Tom, but I've really been impressed with Matchbook and the way that they sort of deal with things, and it's not just through our own experience. I've actually had my card marked through other people, which say that Matchbook are a dream to deal with, and I think we found that they've been really, really good.
Very
But you kind of sometimes you just think, well, you want it to be like that all the time. It's a bit like, when we did that live broadcast, you came up with that idea, put it to them, and then it happened. To be fair to Nathan Corden and Toaster, they embraced it, didn't they?
They were very accommodating. Yeah, they were out in the kennels getting us guests, bringing them in.
Yeah. And I actually thought it was really, really good. I thought it actually worked really, really well. Which was a positive thing, because I think even some of the people, some of the connections that they were really open, they were really honest. Whereas sometimes I think when they talk to Racing Post TV, they feel a little bit guarded. They mind their P's and Q's, what they're going to say.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so this race, SpaceJet. I mean, it will be a miracle if SpaceJet doesn't win. So we really need the place market in a race like this. The clear line of form is that race where we had SpaceJet, Romeo Riot, and Droopy's Jungle.
Yeah.
Romeo Riot led for most of it.
Yeah.
SpaceJet picked up, and then Droopy's Jungle ended up finishing behind Romeo Riot, but found an awful lot of trouble towards the end of the race, at the point where...
Because she ducks in a little bit, don't she? She cuts in on the bends. That's the thing.
Difficult for a dog to get going again at that point. So the prices were a little bit further apart than this earlier. Droopy's Jungle is, on the times, Romeo Riot should be second favourite to place, but Droopy's Jungle is just because I think enough people have seen enough, and obviously it's the wide runner and there's no dog in the 5 box.
Yeah.
But still got to... it should have a clear run on the outside, and with a clear run, is it faster than Romeo Riot? I think they're pretty close, and the prices are getting closer now, which kind of reflects that. Do you have an opinion on which?
I've got a little bit of an opinion in that, and it is a massive price of the place market. It's Savannah Honey.
Really?
Yeah. Only because Romeo Riot finished second to SpaceJet, and they both met Romeo Jet Pilot in the graded race, and I just watched it after the line. I just wondered whether, although Savannah Honey's got no early pace, whether she might just stay on for a place. But it's just the price, really, Tom.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting enough angle.
And all of a sudden, it's gone less.
Yeah.
Much less.
Fairly lively place market, this one.
Yeah. They're going in. So, I mean, really, let's just enjoy SpaceJet.
Yeah, really. Agreed.
2 circuits of the track then. This is the original Foods Durando Heat 2. 742 metres a trip and away and racing, and SpaceJet has popped out the boxes. Tries to clear into the turn, but just gets tapped for a little bit of early toe, and Savannah Honey has gone round in front. Savannah Honey then from Romeo Riot, then SpaceJet, and kennelmate Droopy's Jungle on the shoulder of that one, and then behind these comes Eagle Ridge. Round the 3rd and 4th turns, and it is Savannah Honey for Peter Harnden with a 4-length lead now from Romeo Riot. SpaceJet now just tries to hunt up on the inside with a full circuit to race. And the 2, Savannah Honey now with SpaceJet closing in menacingly round the 5th and 6th turn as they go down the far side for the final time. SpaceJet now assumes control and goes on around about 3-4 lengths clear from the 4. Romeo Riot, who's edged into second in front of Savannah Honey, but it's SpaceJet on a night of stars. Her star shines the brightest and she runs away from her field in the closing stages. SpaceJet, she's a staying sensation and wins it comfortably from 4. That's Romeo Riot, and Droopy's Jungle qualified back in third.
I'm about 5 seconds behind, so it's coming off the final bend.
Yeah, it was straightforward. She popped out, but obviously she just got no early, has she? She got 0 early base at all. She's got tap for toe by Savannah Honey, who I've written down lacked early pace.
She's just a dream, Space Jet.
She's just, she just stays. That's what she does. She just stays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She's a joy. She is a joy.
Yeah, she's an absolute pleasure to watch.
And she'll be very, very short.
Yeah.
From what you've seen. I mean, Savannah Volcano was more workmanlike, wasn't she, than impressive.
Be nice, interesting to see the times. It's nice to see her up against Volcano.
It will be, yeah.
Opposition.
Yeah.
Warren Bond in the chat. Just look at the people on this chat. There's no booming. All proper dog people who want the sport to not only survive but get better too. All disillusioned with the way the sport is run. Yeah. It's easy to slip into this spiral of negativity, but it is what it is, isn't it? We all see what it is.
You're right. No, I think sometimes you can yourself get a little bit disillusioned with what's happened, because I never really liked to flower out what's not the truth, and yet obviously last year I went there for every round. I was commentator there for every round, and you go there and the atmosphere is great, the surroundings are great, and I actually feel this year there's more kind of drama and controversy than there was last year.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I don't really know why, but there's a lot of things that just don't appear to be right, Tom, and yet, and I would say it wouldn't take a lot to iron them out. It just needs people in the right positions to open their eyes and say, right, let's get that sorted then. So I don't think it's being negative. It's just being truthful. I think it's being honest.
Yeah.
Facing up to facts. That's what I'm saying. How can we make it better? You can never rest on your laurels. You've got to make things better. You've got to analyse all the time. That's what I keep saying. Take that 2 steps back and say, how can we make it better?
Yeah, that's what it's all about. And we're giving a voice to the voiceless here, apart from Twitter, where anyone can say anything. That's why we like it. But you look at what's good about this sport. Let's not just talk what's good about this sport. It's easy to get involved with. There's very good people in this game.
Yeah.
We have a good laugh in here. Every guest we have on here is brilliant.
Yeah.
Knowledgeable, interesting, funny. You go to Irish Derby or next Saturday, I'm sure the lads will be there, and you can go and have the pints and have a good laugh. And everyone's similar. Everyone's got similar interests. Everyone wants to have a good laugh and enjoy himself. It is good fun having a bet.
I think sometimes though, Tom, is exchanging opinions. It's just it's a bit like obviously what we do here. But we listen to people, we go, oh yeah, that's not a bad shout, and you kind of absorb all that kind of difference of opinion. A bit like although actually I do find that me and Fortune do agree on a lot of things. It's really spooky. I don't know why that would be, but no, I always say we watch the same videos. That's what I kind of say. But but I do like the fact that even with some of the lads that come on here that they give you that balance. I mean, like even say Dylan, for instance, he'd say, yeah, I've backed this at a massive price, it's overs, and you look and you go, shit, yeah, I didn't realise that. He's right, actually. Do you know what I mean? So that I always think that's good. I think sharing opinions, that's something that Harry Finley has always been an advocate of as well, is sharing opinions to then actually you kind of that what he calls an algorithm points you in probably the correct decision,
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, Tom, with the Derby, and you'll probably be the same, and you've experienced it to a degree, probably more than I have, in that you've got a dog as an owner to be at a Derby final. Although I kind of did with Keatley's with Higher Butt, but I didn't really own him. Was just connected with the kennel. But I think the Derby gets your heart pumping.
Yeah.
I just think when you see really good quality dogs, it makes you want to get involved. When you've got a passion, a bit like what Paul Wing was saying, is he's got a few graders, but he did have an open cast dog with the rain, and it does give you a buzz. It doesn't matter what race you win when you own a dog; it doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is, it gives you that extra. When you see a fast dog, when you see a special dog, when you see an exciting dog, it gives you something to talk about. And I think that's what we're doing here. That's what Matchbook are trying to encourage with Ian and that. And that's the positive of the sport. It's just that all you're doing is we're passing on comments that think, well, hang on, it's very good, but we want to make it really good. If you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've got high standards.
Yeah, and I think actually standards within the sport have dropped immensely, because you never have 5-dog races in the old days. You'd never have odds-on chances in graded races, but that kind of seems to be the norm now. And I think that's where we need to take that ability to say, well, how can we make that better then?
Yeah, how
can we correct that? And I do think there's too much racing. I think there's too much racing.
Yeah, agreed. Casual Gent, are you boys on here tomorrow? We're not. This is our last show for a little while. We're not going to do the Derby final because most of you will be at the track, and if you're not going to be, you should be at the track. So we're not going to do the final. We're going to have a few weeks off, and then we're going to cover a few Romford Fridays, which is where we belong, and then back for the Irish Derby. So we're going to do first 2 rounds of the Irish Derby, the Fridays only, so we can double that up with Romford, because it's not on TV. The first 2 rounds are only on Barking Buzz app, which I think would be quite difficult to cover on here, because you need to use your device you're watching us on to do your bets. So we'll see how that goes. And then we're going to cover full Irish Derby, and then we'll have a few weeks off, and then we'll get into the winter, bring back the Romford FA Cup and all the seething, and see us through to Christmas.
Yeah.
And Matchbooker with us to the end of the year, we found out this week, which is really good news.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. We haven't actually sort of sorted out a schedule yet, but we know what we're going to do, and we'll issue that schedule when we plan it, basically. But it's been good. I really enjoyed doing the Derby. I think it is really, really good. So.
Yeah.
And that's in good dogs.
9:04 coming up, and if you want to snipe a bit of value, the price on Antigua Sugar is far too big, 2.24 at the moment. This is a 4 to 7 shot.
I made a 4 or 5. I must admit, I didn't think she would be odds against Tom, so I do concede. I'm not a big fan of her.
It's that Monmore run, the 28-25 run Monmore.
Yeah, was that in a trial though?
It was in a trial.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I must admit, I know she's got ability, but I don't know what she's all about. She got a VSA last time. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know what her attributes are. I don't know what style of running she is. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's not much of a race. It's not. It's obviously for dogs that are brought out of the ground trader sales. I actually made Zazira's Jack sort of 5-2 chance, and that's now 2-1. So
yeah.
So I think he was 3-1 this morning.
It's got good early pace, yeah.
Yeah, he needs a break to
and
show his good early pace, but
yeah,
I don't think there's. It's not a deep race by any means. It's not a deep race, and really, you're right. The most likely winner is Antigua Sugar. I get that, and actually, you're right. She shouldn't be odds against. She should be slight odds on. So
yeah,
I'm not going to quibble that. So
good. Ben Green's not so sure the Sugar Dog could find trouble in a solo, even though
that's Ben see the same things as me. Yeah, so I get that. I'm just going to go for a comfort break, Tom.
Yeah. Let's have a free bet up in this race. What should we do? We could do a guess of time, but it's a bit dull, isn't it? Okay. Let's do. Just thinking about this. Philip Murray asking what's 6 in the place market. We'll have a look at that. 2.4 at the moment. Okay. All right, let's do the forecast then. Give us your 2 dogs, first and second. First entry that gets it correct wins £20 free bet with Matchbook. Get them in. Philip Murray, quick on the draw. Antigua Sugars beats Azira's Jack. Who's going to do the reverse of that, which is the obvious next bet to put in? No one yet. Getting quite a big price now, Antigua Sugar. 2.56. I didn't think it'd be as big as that. 2.6, getting huge. Magnum's extended mixes, regular viewer, gets in the 1 to beat 5. Paddy McGee, 1 to beat 6. 2.8. God. Has Antigua Sugar's leg fallen off? Casual Gent 1 to beat 5. That's already been taken, I'm afraid. Any more on the forecast? Don't forget, if you're one of the winners tonight, drop us a DM on the Greyhound Watchalong Twitter with your Matchbook usernames. We can credit you. Lorraine, 1 to beat 3. Casual Gent, you've got to guess again if you're still entering. Ox 23, a previous winner, 3 to beat 6. Paul Wing, 5 to beat 6. That's most of the obvious scenarios covered off now.
Lorraine Sam's 1 to beat 3.
Antigua Sugar's just getting big now. But Zazira's Jack's not gone in particularly.
He was 3.1, so he has gone in particularly.
That's true.
that is what John McCurrick would call the favourites have flip-flopped. Actually, I was at a Derby lunch with him in London. He came.
I was in 2013. He called me a fucking idiot.
Was you an idiot? No.
I can't remember why, but I wear it as a badge of pride. I mean, he's not wrong. But...
He's dead now. So.
He is, bless him. Yeah, quite a character. Four and 6 for Dave Skinner. 3.15. Good grief.
Oh dear.
They've been quite good for Greyhound Trader auctions. It's a decent production.
Yeah, it's very good. To be fair, very good. Next sale's at Yarmouth.
Is it?
Mm.
It's a good package where they do it all on the internet and show all the trials.
Yeah, it's really well done. You're right. Yeah. So really, you all you have to do is watch the trials, and you can bid online.
Yeah, they get good money, very good money.
They do get good money. Yeah, they do.
Surprisingly good money.
I agree with you. Surprisingly good money, but they don't. To be fair, they don't have rubbish.
That's it. Because traditionally, the sales have generally just been, low grade dogs.
Yeah, moderate dogs. Yeah.
So yeah, it's.
Go Wide says he played poker with Big Mac in Vegas.
But that was an experience.
Oh yeah, Paul Wing just said that. You said that earlier on. Lorraine said that. Gringard Jenny's on there for sale. Buckley's Beach. So there's a big gamble here on Chris Hamblin's Zazira's Jack.
Huge gamble.
Which is easy for me to say. And Antigua Sugar, who was the original favourite for Mark Wallace, attached to Suffolk Downs, is now second favourite. There's also money for Crystal Reggie. Ben Reynolds, Perry Bar. GreyhoundTrader.com stakes, heat 1. Air approaches. Leads rise off from racing. Good start from Crystal Reggie, who leads into the turn in front of Antigua Sugar, who's going to turn second. Then in behind these comes the two Suleika's Finesse. And then behind that one comes It Might Be You, followed through by Zazera's Jack. Tailed off at the back is Get With The Times. Into the third turn. And this is where Antigua Sugar starts to get busy and passes the long-time leader Crystal Reggie with aplomb and goes on and storms clear. Antigua Sugar drifted in the market, but she's storm clear. 5 has beaten 4, 3 back in third. Antigua Sugar beats Crystal Reggie, and It Might Be You.
Back the winner, feels like a loser.
You didn't have enough on, that's what you're going to tell me now.
No, I backed it evens and went off at 2-1. So.
Yeah.
It's run really well.
Yeah, she has. To be fair, she got a better break, Tom, and got herself into the race. Yeah. Whereas Red missed it, and then he spent his time moving off.
You can't. Yeah, exactly that. I was worried she'd bottle it because dogs with that kind of profile of finding trouble tend to bottle it when they've got to turn around another dog. But my gut feel was she was the fastest one in the race. So yeah,
I think it's one of those. She's got the clear run, and actually, see now. That will give her the world of confidence because she's looked one of those where she doesn't really know what she's doing. She's probably just grown up a little bit tonight, I would say. Through being involved in let's get it right, a moderate race. It's not a great race, is it?
No, I do agree, yeah.
But she's won it really, really well, to be fair to her.
5 and 4, anyone have that in the selections? Can't give this money away. No, yeah. I don't think anyone did.
Well, that's incredible. And there was money for 4, wasn't there, Crystal Reggie?
There was, yeah.
Yeah, there was money for that.
The lucky last. It's gone quick tonight, even with the 2 of us, PL.
That's gone quick, isn't it? Yeah, we're supposed to have. What happened to Burroway?
He's out.
Yeah,
Unbelievable. Could he
I
be?
would imagine he's out.
Yeah, I think he's just out for pints.
Yeah, and Tricky got involved in a pool match and got through the final and got beat.
Did he? Dear, oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Tricky. He's a proper character.
Yeah, he's good. You didn't really see him, did you, at the end of the live thing we did from Toaster?
Well, he was swearing like a...
Yeah, but he got even worse. After you left, he got worse.
Did he?
Well, yeah, actually, when he got worse, he literally, what was the word you'd use? He capitulated, basically. He went missing, and someone found him in the lift,
Going up and down.
and he was going up and down the lift, but he wasn't feeling too well. And the next thing, he had his head bowed over the chair in front of a waste paper basket.
On a Sunday as well.
On a Sunday. He wasn't in a good way.
Dear.
And I think that was all started because he back Romeo Majika or something. He kept saying he had far too much money on it or something like that, yeah.
We'd had a bet, haven't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was not I made a TikTok of.
That was it. Yeah, that was very good, that was. I was really impressed with that. It was always impressive when you win a few quid, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, I don't do them when we lose 120 quid.
No, that's it, yeah.
Doesn't have the same effect. But, my God, we're in profit.
Oh!
£1.26.
£1.26 in front. What can go wrong?
Well, it's the lucky last. So, yeah, we'll see in the next race. Ben Green, who's on for the final? No one is on for the final. Get yourself to the track, Ben. PL's promised he'll buy everyone at Taster a pint. So,
If Hello Hammond wins, Lorraine might buy someone a pint.
yeah. Interesting to see what the anti-pace prices were for the 6 finalists.
Yeah.
There were a few shrewdies who backed Savannah Bow for quite big money.
Yeah, there were actually, yeah. What was it? Hit the Cable.
That's it, yeah.
So, what was he? Sort of 66 to 1, I guess?
It was 6 to 1, yeah.
Romeo Majika, I would say, was 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Dealish Frankie would have... Oh, no, he's not in. Mickey's Barrett.
100 plus, I imagine.
Yeah, I'd say he might be 66 to 100, yeah. Hello Hammond, he'd have been another one, 66. Kildare was definitely 33s. And Price's Jet, I think, I'm sure Fortune said he was 66. So I'd say probably 33 Kildare was the shortest of the lot of them.
Yeah.
Paul he's going to the Derby next week.
Good man. Ben Green having treatment Thursday. I'm here to do the dogs. I'm family abandoning me, leaving to do 25 dogs. Why me? Hope your treatment goes well, Ben. Kildare was 20s.
Oh, it was 33s because I took 33s, Ben. So that's the only thing you got wrong tonight, all right?
Was that with a bookmaker to get each way, or was that exchange?
Yeah. No, that
Oh,
was Ladbrokes.
Um,
That was Lorraine. They put her on her. He's very good.
let's have a chat about the lucky last then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so on down Annual Yazer, we don't really know very much about.
Yeah, one in Galway and an ON2, I think. Ran out of track 3 and probably wanted to be there as well. So I think Annual Yazer might run off a little bit, but again, sprint trials were all right when they 50. You did that twice, 15.90.
Yeah.
But Banjo Lad, I think I overrated him last week. I think he relies on the quick away. He got an okay break, but got a bit crowded in the run up. Russian Sam is more of a sort of a staying dog, slow away. Antigua Princess is obviously the interesting run. I mean, this race is a much stronger race than the previous one. Yeah, I mean, we followed Antigua Princess quite regularly, Tom. We did the Friday night Romford.
Yep.
And she's always been a bitch I quite liked. Deanridge Skippy was a dog that caught my eye in the early rounds, but he's gone backwards in his last 2 runs. He's not even showing any. And he dropped away tamely at the second bend last week. I took a chance here. A big price, Savannah Dismount.
Oh, I agree.
Right.
I do agree.
There you go then.
Yeah.
That's what I've done.
Yeah.
But bigger than what's on there now. But and I think probably I'd have to save on the red because of the unexposed nature and Kevin Hutton. And
it's good enough price as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Savannah Dismount has enough to ping out and not get caught by anything in this company.
Yeah. Let's hope so.
Not consistent with the times, but
no, but got ability. Definitely got ability. Yeah. I mean, look. When you look at the last trial, that's not great, but I think sometimes dogs do run better in competition, and the sexual was pants as well. So obviously walked out. I don't know. What was that? 11 days off the card as well. Don't know why he had a trial, but
price is coming in a bit now. Yeah, and the one could be anything. What's it done? 29.57 Kilkenny, which is mediocre.
Yeah, but that would be qualifying, is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, true.
Yeah, bit of money for red now, sort of coming in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, 28.65 Galway is the call.
Yep. Ben being interviewed.
I suppose Antigua Princess has got a reasonable draw at it. I always worry when dogs were running over 4 bends. And was this this was the Ballymac bitch, wasn't it? That the Properties 192 man had, wasn't it?
Which one?
Antigua Princess. Did she win the Oaks?
Look.
Yes.
Is it not Ballymac in speed? Ballymac intent? No, I can't remember us. Bennett, no. He'd help me out here. I'm sure. What was his name? The Property 192 man.
David.
Colin Davey. Yeah, I think he used to own her. Was she trained in Swindon?
Woman train.
Yeah. And then obviously Amanda Gill or Nick Gill bought her, and she's been with Wallace. Ballymac Trend. Yeah. He knows everything, Ben.
He does, yeah. Oracle.
I'm a bit disappointed he never come on tonight.
Yeah, so am I.
And helped us out. Because subsequently I've been lacking in beer. Like I keep looking at an empty glass here, and Lorraine keeps covering herself with a blanket.
I've got through my limited supply. I made a purchase from a Waitrose at a service station, and the prices were punchy.
So you did get a cottrell then, no?
No, I think the deal was 2 cans for £6, and they're small cans.
No.
It's no deal at all.
Whew.
As you know, I'm a bit of a connoisseur of service stations. Hart's Head Moor is not one of the good ones, but good Tesla supercharger. I did find out today, though, you can actually pull the form cards up on a Tesla on the screen. So there you go.
All right.
Incentive if anyone needs to go electric.
Angie Kibble used to train Ballymac Trend. Paul Wing just said. Go wide, go wide. If all bookmakers were like Ben Keith, I would have to stop betting. That's nothing against him, but he's no good for punters.
That's harsh.
But true. No, Ben likes to lay dogs at the right prices. That's all. And I suppose if you've got a business, there's nothing wrong with that, really. But
He's only 5 years older than me.
is that good or bad? There's money for this Savannah dismount now, Tom.
There is. The Shrewdies know.
We'll let you know after the race. But no, actually, there's money for 1 and 5, and we bet 1 and 5
Yeah.
at better prices.
Better prices.
The only thing is, you need to get a result when you take advantage of the better prices.
Are you saying you can't eat value?
That's it.
Yeah.
Correct. Right, here we go then. Last race of the night. First 3 go forward to Derby final night. The groundtrader.com stakes. Stand by for a start. Hare approaches. Gates lift off and race into a fairly level line, leaving the boxes, and 6 showing early pace. Deanridge Skippy on the wide outside goes on now from 4 and 5 together, and then we've got 1, 3, 2 the back marker down the far side, and it's 6 Deanridge Skippy who's got into around about a 5-length lead from Savannah Dismount in second spot, and then comes third Antigua Princess looking to stay on as they swing off the last bend. It's Deanridge Skippy in supreme isolation, bounce back to form for Alison Kelly Pilgrim, and goes on and scores well from 5 and 4, involved with a photo of Fancy. It's just Savannah Dismount from Antigua Princess.
Decent dog, Deanridge Skippy.
I made this dog a nap in the second round.
Yeah.
And he ran like a drain after
Yeah.
missing his break. And then last time out, he actually broke and was speedless.
Yeah. Those last 2 runs, it's got shades of Priceless Jet. Again, you look at the runs, you think it's not on form, can't back it till it is.
It's one easy there, but that was putting the two poor runs away and coming back to what I see him do against Coppy's Brewer. Yeah, so
Eamon Doran, this is the first ever comment we've had off our Facebook feed, so it's good to see someone's watching on Facebook. Hello, Eamon. Who do you think will win the derby? We discussed it a bit earlier. Draw dependent for me and PL.
Yeah, I still think there's a big run in Hello Hammond. I've got 3 dogs in the final anti-post, but Hello Hammond's one of them, and I'm still fairly confident that he'll go very, very close in the final. Given he gets a middle draw, I think he'll be better in 3 or 4. So he's going to be draw dependent. You're right, Tom.
Yeah.
But thanks for messaging in, Damon.
Yeah, thank you, Eamon. I'm with Philip Majiko based on that.
The draw will be at the Derby lunch on Monday, Ben. That's when the draw is. Yeah.
We're on it now. We want to dissect it.
Yeah.
Go wide. Draw is massive in this final. Yep.
Like most things, the draw always is going to play an outcome. It's really funny because we went to the draw. I was they called me the Derby commentator for the 2019, and we both got invited by Hobbsy to go to the Derby lunch right at the last minute, which was at the Ritz, and they did the draw there, and Magical Bow got track 1, and everyone went, and that was when Hennessy's dog Price's Blake went wallop out of track 3 and led all the way at 14-1.
Yeah.
Because for some reason no one wants track 1, and it's obviously proven because you don't come out of the boxes. I don't know. It's weird. It's just strange.
Yeah.
And in the old days, Tom, when you used to go when I first started going dog racing at Romford, it was either 1 or 6, and that was it.
Yeah.
It was 1 or 6, and trainers will wait until they got their draw and then try and do their little bit of extra work and trying to get their dog to win. And then they changed the hair system, they changed the boxes, and it was just 3 and 4. So it switched from being 1 and 6 to 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it is now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Stanley Philip Kennett's on the telly now.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, everyone, for watching the Derby with us. It's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed doing these Derby shows more than I've enjoyed doing any of the shows we've done before that. We've had brilliant guests, brilliant people in the chat. Thank you very much for all of it.
Yeah.
Get yourself to the track on Saturday if you can. Enjoy the racing, have a few beers, have a good night. And we'll be back in July.
Yeah, thanks for your support. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks very much.
Ta-da.
Thanks, Phil.
Take care. Ta.